Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the latest episode of Fly Plus Football's First and Goal podcast. I'm FPF Hall of Famer Brent Bodkin.
And I'm Quaysie Maule.
All right, so let's hop into it. Quarterfinals in some divisions, semifinals coming up in others. Again, like we said last week, in a setting time, the playoffs are definitely here. They're in full effect now in every division. We had a couple of divisions that were off. A couple of them, there's one or two that are still we're waiting to kind of start the playoffs. But anyways, playoffs are here. Regular season is gone now. The best time of the year is here. Let's hop into it quickly with Women's C. So we usually start 6v6 with the men's, F all the way up to A. Let's start with the ladies. Ladies first. So Women's C. No games last week. Semifinals are coming up this coming Tuesday, August 19th. Number 1 seed 8-2 Cavaliers against the number 4 seed 1-9 Humble. And we have the number 2 seed 7-3 Turf Titans against the number 3 seed the 4-6 She Sparks. Looking quickly at the regular season series between all these four teams, the Cavs have dominated Humble. They pitched basically 2 shutouts against them, and then they had 2 blowout victories at all. I was doing a little bit of math before. So if I'm correct, and I'm not saying I am, the Cavs have outscored Humble 135 to 19.
That's crazy.
So that's yeah, that is crazy. So basically, it's a 116-point differential. I think I'm okay with those numbers. If I'm not, feel free to correct me.
Well, it must be
Yeah.
not. It has to be because I remember we talking about Humble. They didn't score any offensive points, so it's kind of like saying they got that lucky 30-0.
Yeah.
I think that was good.
Yeah, I think you're right. I will say so for the Cavs in this game. Orly Plord, the regular quarterback, she missed two of the meetings. In the 2 games she did play, though, she threw for 461 yards, 10 TDs, and 2 INTs. So I imagine she'll be there for the matchup this coming Tuesday. That is probably going to be bad news for Humble. Humble again 1-9 right in the regular season. It is her first year here, obviously in FPF. Just looking at them here, I believe so. Humble's only victory, I believe, is a forfeit. I'm just gonna double check that to make sure.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, okay, so there you go. So forfeit, but listen, your 1-9 is better than 0-10 or 0-8-1 or whatever case may be. What do you think Humble has to do to at least make this game respectable?
Not throw interceptions.
Yeah.
And kind of, I think, just get a drive going. It starts with completions. So I think, we're week 12, whatever. They get the benefit going to the semifinals because there's only 4 teams in this division. But just kind of embrace that they're there, you are playing one of the best teams, but you got to start somewhere, So don't start about thinking about that scoring a touchdown. Think about getting a 5-yard completion, 10-yard completion, just driving down the field. I think if they kind of start with that, they should be in a better shape because they're a team that they don't score points, right? So I think one thing they kind of have to focus around is getting yards, and then when they get into the red zone or if they get into the close to red zone, try to score a touchdown, right? Every touchdown is going to count in this game, and the more touchdowns you score, the closer the game is going to be.
Okay, that's fair enough. I mean, listen, good luck to Humble. I mean, are we expecting them to win? No, but we hopefully it's a little bit closer. I mean, it's a good test for the Cavs. Obviously, you have to go out and play, right? As we say every week here on the podcast. We've seen a ton of upsets in the postseason, as we'll get to a little later on. Humble is the latest team looking to have an upset of their own. Best of luck to them. And hopefully, even if they don't get the W again, hopefully they can make it close and get something to build on for either the fall season or maybe the winter, whenever they decide to come together and play next. Next battle, like I said, the 2 and 3 seed Turf Titans at number 2 against the She Sparks, the 3 seed. So Turf Titans were 7-3 this year. She Sparks 4-6. Turf Titans went 3-1 this year against She Sparks. Looking at the games here, 20-6 victory for Turf Titans in the first meeting. Second meeting, kind of a blowout as well, 38-0. So that's kind of ugly. But then She Sparks getting some revenge. Actually managed to keep this game back in week. The third game of the year. She Sparks with the 18-15 win over the Turf Titans. I'm just trying to remember when that game was. 18-15. That was back, in week 9 at Concordia. So I got the scorekeep that game. That was a real back and forth game. Turf Titans made some mistakes towards the end. She Sparks capitalized on it in that game. Kim Lau Loren, the quarterback for She Sparks, and for Turf Titans in that game, had 3 INTs. They met one more time in the regular season. A bounce back for Lau Loren and her team. They smoked She Sparks by a score of 33-2. And in that game, Lola Ray responding 213 yards and 5 TDs in that final regular season matchup between these two teams. What kind of game are you expecting in the rematch?
I don't, to be honest, I don't even know because I don't know how you beat a team 38-0, then you beat them, then you lose against them
Mm-hmm.
18-15, and then you
Yep.
beat them 30, so then sorry, then you lose, yeah, 18-15, and then you beat
Yep.
them 33-2. Very odd. Um, it's like kind of saying it's
Yeah.
like it's a bit inconsistent, but it is consistent as
Yeah.
well. Also, yeah. So yeah. So I'm not exactly sure. I'm gonna assume Turf Titans should come away with this game, just by the fact that they did beat them 3 times, 3 out of 4 times during the season. But if Turf sorry if She Sparks could end up, sorry, wait 1 second. Yeah, so if She Sparks end up having a game that they had where they won 18-15, then
Mm-hmm.
you never know, right? Like if it's they've done it before, so it is possible for them to
Yeah.
get upset.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, I like the She Sparks team. I remember talking to a player on the team. I'm not gonna say who she is. I remember talking to a player on the team in mid-season. She was a little bit frustrated with how things were going with the squad. They didn't have that many wins, but I know second half of the season they kind of came together. They kind of found the right chemistry and they started putting together a bit better of an effort towards the regular season. Of course, talking about She Sparks. I mean, I know yes they did lose. They did get beat by the Cavs and by the Turf Titans to close out the regular season, but before that they had won 3 in a row. So just a bit at the midway point and just a bit past, they had 3 wins in a row before losing the final 2 regular season games. So hopefully She Sparks can find a bit of that spark that they found around the mid-season mark. Credit to Jamie Charles Rosolus, who had 2 INTs and a TD pass in that upset victory over Turf Titans. So let's see if She Sparks can do it again and get their second victory of the year in the last laugh over Turf Titans, or Turf Titans again, a number 2 seed, and make it to the finals as many people are expecting. I'm hoping it's a good game. I think it will be. I mean, I know again, Chiefs Sparks have struggled the last 2 weeks, but
But
you're playing a team for arguably the fifth time. Kind of have to get a couple of lessons here and there. Something I'm sure they have to take something away from those first couple of meetings and hopefully to be a little closer
yeah, for sure. The fact that
this
they
time.
did, they played 4 times during the season. They beat them once, right? So I mean, I'm sure they've,
Yeah,
as you said, I'm sure they learned some things that they're doing well against them, and some things that they're
yeah,
doing not well. So I believe it should be a good game. Also, there's 2 teams that are kind of new too, right? Regarding the league, so we're
that's
gonna kind
yep,
of,
yep.
I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some playoff nerves and stuff like that. Playoffs is completely different, right? Anyone can kind of,
Very true.
doesn't matter what type of season you have. It takes a couple bad passes, some bad drops, and all of a sudden you end up losing the game. So
It's very true. Very true. All right, let's hop over to women's B quickly. So women's B was like upset city. I had a chance to scorekeep a couple of games on Sunday night in Brassard, so I had a chance to watch both women's B games as I was scorekeeping on field 3. The women's B games were on field 2. Chaos, the number 4 seed, knocking off the number 1 seed Hebrew 18-14, and Supernova, the number 3 seed, blowing out Wolfpack by a score of 39-6. Quaysie, let's get to that first game I mentioned first with Chaos against Hebrew. I had a chance to watch the majority of the second half in that one. Shout out to the homegirl Gigi, obviously Gigi Cabello Abante. 12 receptions, 132 yards, and 3 TDs. She was all over the field for her team.
you see
Uh,
19 targets.
yeah, 19 to listen. I was going to get to that in a second. Allison Sobo was getting the ball, and she was just looking to the left side of the field all game long. It was Gigi, Gigi, a little bit of Emma, and then back to Gigi. It was. I remember talking to Phoebe Gervais and Marilyn Cesar, who are the receivers on the right hand side. I'm like, Allison's not even looking in your direction. Allison needs to throw a little bit to the right because the Hebrew defense was rolling to their right, Allison's left, and they still couldn't stop Gigi. So credit to the quarterback and wide receiver combo right there. GG is just a monster, as you
Yeah,
know.
it just goes to show, right? You're saying 12 catches, 132 yards, 3
Yeah.
touchdowns. She just got back too, right? She missed a
Yeah, she
couple
was gone.
games.
She was on vacation, I think, for a bit.
I believe her quarterfinals game too. She went off as well, or maybe the game just before going. Gonna get it here. Just before we have, so Dream Killers. She went 7 for 172 yards and 5 TDs against Dream Killers.
Yeah.
So that's her coming. That's literally her coming back in the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
So she's hot right now. um, Again, Chaos is a team they've been in this league for a while, so I'm
Yeah.
kind of not surprised. They're kind of the team where like you never could doubt them out. You know,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
they're always fighting. They finish the season 6-4, in the middle of the pack, but
Mhm.
they're a team where it's like, okay, yeah, we're not the number one seed, but if you do catch us in playoffs, we're gonna make it a game, and it just goes to show that they end up getting the win here, 18-14. Their defense
Yeah.
played extremely well. They got enough stops to get them
Mhm.
the win. You have Emma that also got interception. I'm sure that was huge for her
Yep.
team. And
Yep.
Allison was able to clutch it down. She did throw two INTs that didn't help the team as much, but she was able to end up finishing the game, and they got the win. They actually didn't score in the second half though. They scored 18 points in the first
So
half, and
yeah, that's it.
they
Sorry, I
scored.
was gonna say, well,
Yeah,
that's it, right? They were up 18-8 at half, and then they were outscored 6-0 at halftime. Two things. So Emma's INT was nice. I saw the quarterback, Emily Adam, who we've had on the show. She dropped back. I think she was throwing a pass over the middle. Emma kind of just stepped in front of it. It was a nice pick. Good eyes there by the defensive back, and good job baiting the quarterback by the defensive back, obviously, and Emma Townsend Aslan. But I will say though, you mentioned Allison Sobel. I mean, she's a veteran. She's been in the league for a long time. She's been in many big games. I gotta say though, time management was not on display in that game. She single handedly made the game a lot tougher than it needed to be for her team. They had the ball. Case in point, they had the ball for the last drive of the game. All you have to do, you're up, right? You're up by 4 points. Take a couple of knees and run the clock. No, she kept on passing, but she kept on throwing incomplete passes, which stopped the clock for her for Hebrew. You can't have that. And Hebrew got the ball back after getting a turnover on fourth down. Hebrew had a couple of shots to march down the field and get the game winning touchdown. Luckily, again, like you said, Quaysie, good point by you. The Chaos defense really made a stand at the end of the game to seal the deal. But that game should have been over at least 4 to 5 minutes before it was, and kind of Allison Sobel kind of let Hebrew hang around in the game. And we've seen it before in the postseason with her. She's a fantastic quarterback. But we've seen in big games, especially in the postseason, she kind of has these brain farts, I guess you could say, where she'll get locked in on receivers, she'll get locked in on certain plays, and she'll throw the ball where it shouldn't be thrown. And that happened in that game. But again, luckily for her, her defense bailed her out because again, 18-14, yeah, 18-14 shouldn't have been that close. Quickly, Supernova, like I said, they smoked the Wolfpack 39-6. Clarence Michaud, 6 TD passes in that game. That was a blowout. Rosalie Majeur, Alicia Ania, 3 TDs in that game, 2 INTs for Alexandre. LeBlanc is a great job by Supernova over Wolfpack. There's not much to say about that. Finals
yeah.
matchup is going to be Supernova, the 3 seed, against Chaos, the 4 seed.
Just to kind of go back, I don't think Wolfpack had their quarterback throwing that game, so that did not help them at all. I think they had Annie Boeing, so they're missing their quarterback. The quarterback wasn't playing. So like, I want to say it's kind of unfortunate the way that Wolfpack got in the season because they did go 7-3. They
You're
were
strong
the
team,
number
yeah.
one. They were the number one seed going into most of the going into most of the season, and then Hebrew kind of passed them in the end. So it's unfortunate for them because they had a great season, and I feel like they probably thought like maybe this was going to be the year, but unfortunately, when you don't have your quarterback playing for you during a quarterfinals playoff game,
Yeah.
semifinal playoff game, it does not help your situation, and that's a fact. That's the reason why we got the result 639. But again,
Yeah.
shout out
Yeah.
to Supernova. They did what they have to do, right? At the end of the day, it's not in your control of what your opponent does. Is what you guys do, and
Yeah.
they do what they do. They did what they had to do, and they end up getting the W.
There you go. Yeah. So yeah, we'll pack with Mary Fournier and Camille Dumas. Sucks for them, but it is what it is. All right, so let's get to Women's A, and with that, we have a special guest here joining us for the Women's A rundown here. So some of you guys, she's a rookie. So some of you guys may have heard of her. If you haven't heard of her, I could attest. You guys should get out there and watch her play. She plays for Koei 2 for Double Dip and Women's A with Ice Cold. Ice Cold with a huge upset victory over Sub Zero the other night, Sunday, again in Broussard. I was there to watch that game. I want to get to that in a second, but I want to welcome Ashley Longin to the show. You good? Uh,
Hello?
you can hear us?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. Can you hear
Okay,
me?
perfect. Yep, we got you. We got you.
All right.
All right. All right. So first off, welcome to the show. Thank you for taking the time to come on to the First and Goal podcast with us. Is very much
Well, thanks.
appreciated.
Oh, sorry. Thanks for inviting me.
No worries. No worries. Okay, so let's hop into this. So I gave you a little bit of an introduction. I don't know if you heard me, but I will say You're definitely one of the best rookies in FPF right now. You know what? I'm gonna talk to Jeff. I thought about this for a while. I think there needs to be a Rookie of the Year award for every division because I think without a doubt, at least a Women's Day, you would definitely win that award with ice cold. You lead the team, 37 catches, 555 yards, 10 TDs, but you're doing some damage in co-ed as well, right? With your team double dip co-ed too, 21 catches, 295 yards, 5 touchdowns. I'm looking at you have an INT, you have a couple of sacks. You're kind of one of those all over the field kind of playmakers. So let me ask you first, what is how'd you get involved in FPF and what has your first season been like so far?
I really liked my first season, and it's really funny that you talk about the Rookie of the Year award because my dad keeps on telling me that like FPF should have this, and he was like all season long, "Oh, you should get the Rookie Award of the Year," and I thought it was really funny that you just said that. But actually, I found FPF through Double Dip. We actually
Mhm.
made the team for the Ben Butch tournament in the Trois Rivières.
Okay.
And before like just going to a tournament and playing together for the first time, we decided
Mhm.
to sign up for FPF. And
Okay.
at the same time, I was auditioning to be on Ice Cold, and we
Okay.
like found
Nice.
out that we got an FPF season 2. So it was like my first time in FPF was also with two teams, and I really
Okay.
liked it. I like the community. You can feel that the players at FPF are really here for the love of flag. Like
Mhm.
every player who plays really just loves the game, and when there's like riot or drama on the field, it's because of flag football and not because of like exterior motives. Actually, I just really like the vibe of FPF and just the community, the podcast, the content section, the stats. I never
Okay.
really got a player stats before, so that shows. But yeah, I really like it.
Brent, something to also just want to say. She didn't get Rookie of the Year, but she did get Receiver of the Year for Women's A.
Yeah. There you go. There you go. Okay, so perfect. This is a good segue. Women's Day, like I said, you were part of a huge upset Sunday night. You and your team, obviously, you guys ice cold. You guys knocked off Sub Zero. Again, so again, you're a rookie here, so I don't know if you know the legacy in FPF of Sub Zero, but they have been kind of the queens of the mountaintop here in FPF since they first came in, I believe 2022. You guys knocked them off, and you guys knocked them off in a big way this past Sunday with a huge victory. What was that win like for you, and just how does it feel like to be part of a team to beat Sub Zero again 34-22?
I was so hyped. I mean, as a team, we were so hyped to play against Sub Zero and to win. Going to I think we're going to finals against
Mhm.
Matrix. It's
Yep.
just amazing. And of course, like we beat Sub Zero, but not all of their players were there. But a win is still a win. I
Mhm.
think it's still great to be able to say, like, on the first season of Ice Cold, we actually beat a team that was there for a very long time and that has a strong name. So I think it was really a nice thing. And as a group, it's like, oh, well, we actually can compete with these girls. And, we're not totally out of our league here. So yeah, it was really nice to get a W on Sub Zero. Definitely.
Okay, just looking at the games, running down some of the stats. Obviously, your quarterback Athena Ryan, 238 yards and a draw dropping 5 TDs in that matchup. She outplayed Emily Carrier, the quarterback for Sub Zero. One of your teammates, though, so I'm looking at Lara Zuko, someone that a lot of us at FPF know, 82 catches, 82 yards, pardon me, in that game, 4 touchdowns. You ladies balled out. You had Stella Jean George had a touchdown, Chloe Samar touchdown, Maria Manserio for touchdown as well. So offensively, you guys brought it. But what really impressed me in that win, if you could speak to it a bit, was your defense. You intercepted Carrier twice. You had 5 pass deflections. I remember talking to you after the game. You ended up playing rusher and you got Carrier to get rid of the ball a little bit sooner than she wanted to. But let's talk about the impact of your defense and how big of a role they played in getting the W.
Defense did a good job. I think Pat has a way of coaching, and he's special in his own way, but his defense are always on top. Even UCAM in the university circus of flag football has one of like the best defense. And coaching does a lot, but the players too. They're committed. They're always at practices. They're always ready to ball out, and they communicate really well together. And I feel like they play very good. They have a good bond. Like the defense and offense, both have a really strong bond in our team, which is really nice, and you can kind of see it on the field. But I mean, the girls, Kristavi did, I think, like one or two picks, and the girls are really good. I don't know what to say. They balled out.
Okay, okay, fair enough. Uh, so I want to ask you also. Okay, so about double dip. Obviously, a big high there with the win for Ice Cold. Bit of a heartbreaker there with double dip. Unfortunately, you guys losing to the Zoomies. Tight game. Just talk about a bit about your experience playing co-ed as well.
I really love co-ed. The I find it like a bit more difficult than women's, but at the
Mhm.
same time, the level is a bit higher because we're playing with boys, so and men. Sorry, so it's definitely like a higher level of game. Um, I'm kind of high because I play against like really strong players. I think in Zoomies there was like, I mean, boys from Les Braves. They were really good, or
Mhm.
even like the girls were really good. And I think it challenged me. It challenges me more to play in co-ed just because like of the boy aspect. But it's definitely a fun division too. I played co-ed in another league, but we had three flags, so I found it like kind of unsettling coming to FPF and like switching to three flags instead of two. But I adjusted like pretty well, and I really liked it too.
Nice. Okay. So as Quaysie mentioned a few minutes ago, obviously you winning receiver of the year in women's A. Who do you give the credit to for that work? Because obviously you just quarterback, but you put in a lot of the work yourself. You're the one running the routes and making sure you catch the ball. What do you think was the biggest factor in you winning receiver of the year?
Honestly, well, of course, Athena throwing me those ball was what made me kind of receiver of the year. But working hard also makes like a job a part in that. Um, I went to les clubs Le Recrue a lot to practice my hands and route running. Or when I was in high school, I played like no, not high school. Sorry, in CJEP. I played 2 year in CJEP de Terrebonne, and my coach Patrice Blouin really like made me better, made me a better player. He like before practices we would work on my hands, like how to like position well my hands, or between water breaks when we had like one or two times seconds, he would like throw me balls and just practice like extra and extra time out of the time involved in practices. Sorry, that sounded wrong, but I think
Okay.
you get it. Um,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I really owe it kind of to him and to all of the people that were here to like push me to be the best. And practicing with like good girls makes a difference too. All of the girls were so like into practices. They were participating, they were giving it their all, and the coaches too. I was coached by Void in Ice Cold. He's a really good coach. I really like the way he coaches. So I owe it to all of the people that brought me here, basically.
Okay. Yeah. Shout out to Jacques Voigt, obviously. Had a chance to talk to him a little bit before your game as well. Um, so, like I said, you knock off Sub Zero. You guys have the Matrix coming up, right? It's you guys are the sixth seed. The Matrix are the fourth seed for the championship. Again, this is the first time in a long time it hasn't been either Sub Zero or Cayenne. So two different teams for the first time in a long time here. Matrix beat you guys 33-27 back in week 4. What did you learn from that game, and how do you ladies come out on top in the finals this time around?
So it was kind of funny because the game they beat us in week 4, we were coming back from Ben Butch, which was a tournament in Trois Rivières, and we were in the finals against them, and we won. So we won in Trois Rivières, and then when we came back to Laval, we lost against them, and we lost again against them. I think that we have some tapes, so I think watching the tapes will definitely like get us more prepared. But we know the players against who we're playing. Offense knows the defense of the other side, and I think matchups are going to be important. Decisions making are going to be important. I don't know. We're just gonna have to do our game. Sometimes when we get in a rough path, it's hard for us to like come through. If we have like one or two bad drives, maybe it's harder for us to come back in the game. But I think that if we've been on a good roll these days, so I think that if we can just keep the vibes up, keep the performance up, and
Okay.
staying locked in, if we play our game, it's gonna be a good game.
Okay. Okay. That's fair. That's fair. So one thing I noticed from scorekeeping your games this year, specifically from watching you ladies on Sunday, obviously you have a deep team, right? You have about I think 11 different players on your team, but you guys have a thing where it looks like again you're a rookie. There's a number of rookies on your team, but you guys make it look fun. You guys look like you're having a good time. There's a little bit of when it's serious, it's time to be serious. You guys take that seriously, but also I noticed there's like a lot of jokes going on, a lot of laughs, a lot of smiles. But what is it like to be like on this ice cold team?
It's really fun. Well, we have to keep in fact that we're pretty young.
Mhm.
Most of us are still like in CJIP or going like on our first year or second year of university. So being a young team is just full of energy, and the girls are so funny. Like, actually, we're always laughing. It's There's a lot of personalities on the team, which just makes it so fun. Like, even if you're on the field, the girls on the bench are gonna cheer up for you, and vice versa. And I don't know, it's a really great group of girls, and it's just really fun to be a part of. There's no drama. It's just the love of the game.
Okay, so who on your team? Let me ask you about some of your teammates now. Who's like the funniest person on your team, or the person that's always going to crack a joke or do something crazy?
Chloe is very funny, or Kayla. They're both really funny girls, and I'm closer to them because they play in offense.
Okay.
But if you wanted to just like calm the mood and do like funny stuff, Chloe and Kayla are your girls, definitely.
Okay, and who's the opposite of that? Who's the person that like it takes the most amount of jokes and the most amount of things to get them to laugh?
Honestly, Void, our coach, he's
Fair,
always so
fair.
straight faced, but he's really nice. He's just always like kind of has this one face, serious face. Yeah.
Okay, okay. Um, since you play offense, if it's yourself, you can answer this. You can give the answer of you. Who's that one receiver that like no matter how many passes they drop or whatever, they always think they're open. No matter what, they can be double team, but they always think no matter what they're open. Who's that one receiver?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that?
So who's that one receiver on your team that no matter what always thinks they're open?
Always seems to open. Sorry.
Always thinks they're open, like always wants the ball. Always thinks they could have. Let's say me and Quaysie are covering somebody, and we're locking them down more so Quaysie than me. But like, who's that one receiver on your team that no matter what the coverage is, they always think they're open? Oh, they're telling Athena, "Hey, I was open. You didn't see me." No matter what.
I do
I
feel
don't
like,
really feel like there's one of the girls
yeah.
that's like that. I feel like the girls pretty much have like if I'm speaking for Lara or Maria, they've played with Athena before, so they have better
Yeah.
communication with her. But I wouldn't say
Okay.
that they're always like, oh, I was open, I was free. Uh, we kind of have, we kind of all say that a bit, but nobody really speaks out like that much. And we're still a new team, so maybe people are not comfortable enough with doing that yet. But I wouldn't really say there's
Okay.
anyone who stands out for that in our team right
But
now.
Brent, to kind of
Okay.
go on to that question, I don't think girls talk in the huddle. Like, to be honest, with you, whenever I'm kind of like looking at them play, it's kind of like the quarterback just saying what she's saying, and everyone kind of just breaks. It's not like you come back, hey, throw me the ball. Like, I think everyone's just quiet and they're listening.
Okay.
I think
So
it's
I'm gonna agree with the both of you. I'm just gonna say from scorekeeping, from playing for a long time, I've seen it sometimes where like there's a girl who you're right. They may not verbalize it, but you can tell by the look on your face. Like
oh yeah,
I
yeah.
should have got the ball there. I was open. I'm just
Yeah,
wondering.
I
Cause
think
I'm
everybody
asking you
does that,
obviously.
honestly. Like,
Fair
sometimes
enough.
you're
Okay.
just so
Okay.
free and you're like, Why not?
Okay. So let me switch it up then for defense then. Okay, so and maybe it's kind of the same question, but is there anyone on your defense who thinks I don't care, I'll take on anybody, they can't get past me, I'll shut them down?
Honestly, I think pretty much all of them kind of have this mentality. But when I
Okay.
would say, I don't know if she, yeah, I think she played FPF with us, but it's Malou. No, sorry, Marilou. We call her Malou. But Marilou definitely has that dog energy in her. I
Okay.
think she
Okay.
played for Sub Zero a bit. It shows when she did Ben Butch with us, and she was just the first time I saw her, I was like, damn, okay, that's a defense dog, you know?
Yeah, that's a vet. That's a veteran.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
This is
definitely.
Mary Lou Bellon that you're talking about.
Yes, exactly
Okay.
her.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. In terms of again, you're new to the league, you're a rookie, but who are some of the players that in your first year so far that you've been here? Who are some of the players that you look up to and maybe want to learn something from, whether they're on your team or not?
Um, there is a Jensley. I've
Hmm.
seen him like pretty much everywhere. I swear this guy is everywhere. I feel
Yep.
like every time I'm on the field, he's there. But
Yep.
I like he's so he can do everything. He can do like he can throw and he can throw in like the men's A, I think, like first division.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
he's like a really good receiver. And I talked to him and he's actually really nice too. So yeah, I kind of look up to him. I think he balls out really well. Um, there's a Caroline Moquin-Joubert in Sub Zero.
Yep. Yep.
She's just a stud. I feel like any ball you throw to her, she's just gonna catch it and be the girl the ball was supposed to go through. Um, but there's so much players, honestly, that I don't know. I couldn't name them all honestly, but those are definitely my top two.
Okay. Okay. Um, I imagine obviously since you play more receiver, you're probably your favorite position is receiver. Um, what do you think, in your opinion, makes you so good? Because again, like I said earlier, you have played some defense as well. So again, receiver, the ear in that, and you said you put in a lot of the work. Actually, different question. What do you think the limit is for you? Because again, you're 19 years old. It's your first year in the league. Again, receiver of the year in the top women's division. Do you feel like you have a ceiling, or how do you think you can get better and better?
Well, I'm really proud of receiving the Receiver of the Year award, but I have to kind of stay like humble and not sit on that because a lot of
Mhm.
the girls maybe did not play at their full potential because of all of the Team Canada stuff. So
Okay.
I still finished on top. I'm super proud of that, but I feel like I still have so much to learn. And I want to learn defense too. I'm really eager to learn about defense. I played the kind of like both ways with the CJEP team,
Mhm.
and I really like playing defense. I think the
Okay. Nice.
strategy behind it, like it's not just running routes and like going at the perfect depth. Sorry, it's also like communicating with your opponents and with your teammates and just I feel like I have really so much to learn. I've It's been 3 years since I started playing like flag football, I think. So it's still new to me in a way, but still a lot to learn from all of the people I'm going to play with and against.
Okay. And what got you into playing flag football?
Actually, I was in high school, my last year of high school. A girl on the volleyball team just decided, hey, I want to make a flag team. So I was like, yeah, why not? And then I started playing. We were like, since we were athletic, I think we made it out pretty good for a first season. And then I started playing in CJEP, and that's when I really like fell in love with the sport. Well, again, my coach Patrice Blouin just made me see another aspect of flag football, and I really, really like fell in love with this. And he got me in contact with coaches, and he really made me the player I am right now, honestly. But yeah, that's how I got into flag football, and now it's like my favorite sport ever.
Okay, nice, nice. Obviously, in 2028, it's the Summer Games in LA. It's going to be flag football for the first time. Obviously, Team Canada, the ladies team. So obviously, a lot of the ladies from Cayenne and Sub Zero are going to be on. that squad. Are the Olympics maybe down the road, maybe 2032, 2036? Is that something that maybe you think is going to be on your radar?
Definitely. Since I fell in love with flag football, and the people that are gonna be on Team Canada, I'm playing with them and against them, so I'm not far from it,
Mm-hmm.
from the
Mm-hmm.
level. So I'm definitely gonna work hard to maybe get a chance to be on Team Canada for the Olympics. That would be like my dream.
All right. I mean, listen, if you keep on the same trajectory that you have now, you keep on putting up those stats and getting those awards, there could be a good chance. It
Yeah,
could be a good
definitely.
chance. Okay. Finally, just two more questions away from flag football now. Like, what do you like to do in your spare time? Like, what does Ashley like to do when she's not around flag football?
Honestly, I work. I work at my grandfather's restaurant. Or recently, I've gotten into golf. I'm playing golf with my boyfriend sometimes. I played one round like this morning, and I'm beginning to be good at it, but still, it's kind of a pastime. Otherwise, I used to do volleyball, so that was also what I did in my spare time. So I'm keeping myself active. I'm training. I'm working. I'm going out with friends. Pretty much regular athlete stuff.
Okay, I mean, look, I'm impressed. I mean, I think usually when you get to like Quaysie's age or my age, most people start taking up golf around then. So the fact that you're only 19 and you're taking it up, that's pretty cool. You want to give a shout out to your grandfather's restaurant? Want to give
Ah,
a little
yes,
plug?
it's in Terrebonne. It's le restaurant du Vieux Terrebonne. It's in le Vieux Terrebonne. So,
What's the specialty?
pizza. We're really known for the
Yeah.
pizzas over there. But everything is like homemade. So if you want
Okay.
pasta, the sauce is made homemade. The pizza, the dough is made homemade.
Okay.
In poutine, the sauce is made homemade. So everything is just really good.
Okay. So I mean, I think the three of us, well, me, Quasi, and Ali Reza, you were able to hear him. You can't see him. I think the three of us are pizza fans. So I'm saying if there's one day you want to hook up some pizza, we won't say no.
Absolutely. Just hit me up and I will bring you one.
Okay. All right. All right.
Okay, sorry, three. One for each.
Fine by me. Fine by me. All right. You have anything crazy or you're good?
No, not exactly. Actually, I had one question to ask you. So I know because since you played 2 years for CJIP and then you found out about Ice Cold, how nervous were you trying out for the team? Since like it's such a big step and you see the amount of girls that you were around, right? I know that's kind of like it can be discouraging too because you see all that amount of talent. Like, but how did you feel when you were doing the tryouts?
I felt kind of like stressed and anxious. I'm not really a stressed person. I'm rarely really anxious, but that definitely like playing and trying out with like like players that played like D1, D2, and I was like a D2B player. So it was definitely stressful for me because I kept like kind of comparing myself, or every time I made on the first, I think on the first or second day, there was a drive when I dropped like every ball. And I was like, oh my God, I'm not making this team. But fortunately for me, I did like the showcases and I did open practices with the university. So I've already known the coaches, Kev and Pat. I just didn't know Void yet. So they had faith in me when I didn't. I was always doubting myself, but they were like, like we've seen you play. We know how you can ball out. Just be yourself. Be calm." And the girls that were there to like help me kind of like bring my stress down. And yeah, I was kind of nervous, but made it out.
Yeah. So when you officially made the team, like how did you feel? Like when they're like, "Oh yeah, you're on the squad." Like how did you feel when
I
you
was
found out?
so stoked because we had the same coaches as Sub Zero, and I was like, "Damn, I'm gonna get so much knowledge right now." So the first few weeks was a lot. It was like a new sort of like flag football side I've ever seen. Switching from 7v7 in CJEP to 5v5 in university slash FPF was definitely a change. And we were like using plays that we need to know by heart. So just that, and knowing how to beat the enemy, knowing how to read the defense. I've had a lot of knowledge this summer. Definitely, I don't know, opened my point of view, and I was really stoked to play with high level players like that.
Yeah, that's cool.
All
That's
right.
about it.
Okay. The last question I want to ask you: you play Matrix again, like we said. Chance for revenge, chance to get the last laugh in your rookie year. What would winning a championship mean to you personally?
Oh my god, it would be like insane. It would be like, in my mind, like I can really compete in this division, and this team that I'm in is not a rookie team or a team to take like lightly. It would just be insane. I would I would kind of like be, whoa, how can I top this season from going on, you know? So I don't know. Would be really nice.
All right.
Sure. Yeah,
All right.
also, one thing to do also to say about that, there's not a lot of players that, well, there's a lot of players, but not a lot of people have championships. So you're gonna see. Hopefully, you stay in this league and you play for the amount of years me and Brent played for. But you'll be surprised the amount of people that actually don't have a championship. So it's hard to
Yeah.
come by. So it's like when you do actually get your first championship, even though it's your first year, so you might get an early one, but you're gonna see that it's something special.
Yeah, I'll have it on my player
100%.
card with the
Yeah.
stats. I'm so excited too to see my ranking. I really don't know
Yeah.
how it works, so I'm just excited at what it's gonna be now. Me and
Your
my family
your
are stats people, so every time my mom is really someone who looks stats up and look the players up. So I'm really excited. It would be super nice to have that on my little card.
your offensive rating and defense rating, yeah. Because right now you're at,
It,
it says you're at
it
50.
won't be 50-50. It won't be that anymore. You should take a picture before the finals game. You should take a picture of that
I should.
and hang on
Okay,
to
I'll
it.
do
Yeah,
that.
you should, because I guarantee you. So there used to be a cap in terms of how much you could raise the cap. That's been gone for a while now. So I'm expecting, I think, at least 65, 70 at
Oh
But the
least.
thing is,
yeah. Okay, that's it.
but you don't want your rating to go up.
Yeah, keep it low as
you want
possible.
them low.
Oh, for
Because
real? I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
really know
yeah,
how
yeah,
it
yeah, yeah.
works. So
Okay, listen. If the team that you're on with Ice Cold, I mean, you're in Women's A, so chances are you'll
there's
be
no
able to
cap.
keep that
Yeah.
same team
But for
together.
double dip,
There's no
it's a
cap. But for double dip and other teams you want to play on, the lower your cap number, the better.
oh, okay.
Honestly.
So okay, because it's I think it's like a ad. Like you sum up all of the ratings, and if it's
yeah,
too high, you can't play.
that's exactly it. So
Mm.
we always have
Yeah,
we always
yeah.
we always have a bunch of young players and new players come in the league, and they're always complaining. They're like, "Oh, why am I 55 or why am I 61?" I'm like, "Be happy with those ratings." Same thing with me when I first came in the league. I think I came in
Hmm.
55, and I think I went up to like 60, and I'm like, "Oh, we're like I want to be like 80, 90. Now I want to go back to 70, so I'm able to fit like with my older friends, stuff like that." But
I
you'll
feel that
you'll, you'll
it's kind of a you'll learn process.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah. All right, Ashley. This wraps it up for us. Just want to say again, thanks for taking the time to come on. Really appreciate it. I know I've been trying to get you on for the last couple of weeks, so it ended up working out perfectly. You got the big win over Sub Zero, and then you came on the pod. So really appreciate you taking the time to come on and talk to us.
Well, I'm really happy you guys invited me. It's really a nice opportunity for me to talk to you guys. Thank you so
All right.
much.
All right, and good luck against Matrix. We're pulling for you guys. Hopefully, I mean, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't want to say
Yeah,
Matrix has a good chance. You guys have a good chance. It should be a great game. I don't
yeah,
know
we
who's going
need
to
to ball
call that
out.
game, but yeah, exactly. There you go. You need the ball out. Hopefully, both teams ball out and the best team wins.
Yes.
All right, Ashley, take care. We'll see you soon.
All right. Thank you guys.
All right, thank you. All right, so that was Ashley Longin of Double Dip, and yeah, and Ice Cold as well. Have a great day, Ashley. So yeah, man, I think that was pretty awesome. Again, like you were saying, Quaysie, rookie of the year, pardon me, receiver of the year, in women's A, and if there was, she'd be rookie of the year too. I think in every single women's division.
Yeah, for
Uh,
sure.
pretty
No,
solid, pretty solid.
she had a great season this year.
Yeah,
Even
hundred
though she
percent,
was
hundred
also saying
percent.
she was also saying the fact that yeah, there was a lot of girls that were missing for Team Canada and stuff like that.
Yeah,
But at the end of the day, there's
listen,
still a lot of players that were playing in it, right? It's not like
yeah,
she did.
exactly. Listen, if they win the championship on that banner, Jeff's not going to put. You guys won in the semis with subs Sarah Parker, Sabrina Gervais, Caroline Moquin Joubert, Catherine Gaumont weren't there. Same thing for the Cayenne game, right? Cayenne against Matrix. They're not gonna say, "Oh, Matrix, you guys won," but Clara Boydwin, Leo Duval, Emma Racine, and so on and so forth wasn't there, right? A win's a
Wasn't
win. Banners fly forever.
exactly same thing. Same thing in all sports. A lot of players when you go to the
That's it.
Super Bowl or whatever, quarterback
That's it.
gets hurt.
That's it.
It is what it is. You're not. You're the 2022 Super Bowl champs. Not we're the 2022 champs because so and so got hurt. No,
Yeah,
no.
well, there you go. That's it. That's it. I will say though, again, Ice Cold and Matrix is going to be a good game. Emily Ashkar in that Matrix win in week 4, she had like 5 TD passes, right? Abigail Perot, we were talking about it before we came in the air. She had 3 TD catches, along with 15 tackles in that game. So I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be a great game. Two hungry teams looking to finally get the top of the mountain, Cayenne and Sub Zero out of the way. So no better time than now, right, for Matrix and Ice Cold.
Yes, sir.
All right.
So that's it for women's C, B, and A.
Yep.
Do you want to go to co-ed 3?
Sure. Let's do it. Let's
All
hop
right.
over to it. Co-ed 3.
Co-ed 3,
Here
we
we go.
had 4 games on Saturday.
Yep.
On Sunday actually, August 10th. We had 4 games on Sunday. Sunday. We had Mixology versus Dream Killers. Mixology dropped 58 points on Dream Killers and top
Yeah.
3.
Oof. Oof.
That's a
Yeah.
lot of points.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
It is. That is.
Ghosted 37 versus Valicious and Delicious.
Yep.
So they end up getting that win. Then you have Vultures that pull up the upset. Where Vultures, so I was at that game. Vultures played with 5 players,
Oh
and
wow.
you had,
Okay.
yeah, they played with five
Jeez.
players the whole way. And you
Wow.
had Phil Roberts at quarterback. He did a great job. He took his
Yep.
time.
Yep.
Ben was just blank. Ben was being Ben. I don't know how he does it. The amount of running he was doing left and back, left to right, getting
Mm-hmm.
interceptions. He did a great job. But they pits it to be. I
It's
think
La Beta TB.
that
They're
bit.
an actual team. Whatever. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that well, I know they have some girls from NYMC and they have some guys from LCC. I want to say
yeah.
or
Yeah.
so. I
It's
don't
it.
I don't know. Sorry, go.
No, I'm saying it's surprising, like you're saying, right? Like you have five players on your team. I mean, it's funny. One team had, and I know Phil got hurt. I think in that game, Phil went knee on knee with somebody. I was scorekeeping when it happened, so he was on like the field all the way. I was on field 3, he was on field 1, but I know he was down for a couple of minutes. He went knee to knee with somebody. So talking to Anthony Drysdale, and sorry, that was the game before. Sorry, Phil got injured the game before, and then so heading into this game, he's a little banged up. But you're right, he played great at quarterback. But looking at it right here, right, they had 5 players for that game, and we look at the other side, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. They had
A whole
11, right?
roster.
So
And a whole roster.
full roster and then some, right? So I mean, it's that shouldn't be happening, but it is what it is.
But I think it's to be honest, I think it's experience because I was watching that game and first of all, they kept
Yep.
switching their quarterbacks. The quarterback
Mhm.
wasn't taking advantage. They were setting a girl as a rusher where they could have sent a double rush, get the ball out of his hands. They weren't
Yeah,
covering
yeah,
the hooks.
yeah.
It was just really, to be honest, it just looked like they were not experienced and they didn't understand the concept. It's like when you're playing 6 versus 5, you kind of just on offense too. They're throwing interceptions. There's no reason why you should be throwing 3 interceptions when it's 3 versus when it's 5 versus 6. Like why there should be 0 interception. You
Yeah,
literally could have did.
exactly,
And
exactly.
the craziest thing is they had 2 quarterbacks that are both mobile. They actually both the quarterbacks are they
Yep,
have pretty good arms. They could have did a double quarterback where they could have got the rusher to go left, come back right, and they could have just kept throwing the ball back,
exactly.
waiting for someone to come down on it, and just because
Mhm.
you're one extra guy, or if someone you send someone over the top, you throw a deep ball, it's a touchdown. They didn't take advantage of the situation, and Vultures kind of just ran like that. First half they're up 25-13. Second half ended 18-14, and then end of the score 43-27. So big shout out to the Vultures. They did what they had to do, but a
It's
really bad game.
Yeah, it's just lack of awareness. But I think like it's again, like you said, there are a lot of rookies on the La BTB roster. And listen, the 5 that the Vultures did have, like obviously Phil Roberts, Leah Begra, obviously talked about Ben McMahon, Mateo Girardi, Emma Talents, and Aslan. Those are 5 really good, really good players, right? And shout
Yeah,
out to Phil, 7 touchdowns in that W. But you're right, like you have the numbers advantage. You can run the double quarterback. You can send 2 rushers at Phil Roberts, right? There's ways to get around. There's ways to take advantage of being up. by one player in the game. But unfortunately for La Bitabi, they didn't do it, and that's why they're going home.
Yeah, unfortunate because they had a great season,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
so it
yeah.
is what it is.
This,
It
yeah,
happens.
that's it. That's it.
Reason why we have playoffs, right?
Yeah. Um,
And then um, other game to kind of look at is Kiss My Ace versus Yards Chaser as well. I'm not sure if Alexi Dubois got hurt because they also did a double quarterback type thing where Alexi was throwing and then they had Alexi Labonte and
yeah,
was throwing.
Labonte. Yeah, I mean, listen, just I'd rather have Alexi Labonte at quarterback. No disrespect to Alexi Dubois, but he's got his team far in the playoffs. But I've seen him play too many times at quarterback. He's not a quarterback you want to really kind of wrap your championship dreams around, right? I mean, you see it right here: 7 of 18, 63 yards, 2 ints. He throws a ton of ints. Labonte came in 10 of 14, 72 yards, 2 touchdowns in that game. Perhaps was I mean, listen, they were down 18-0 at halftime, so maybe they just said Dubois, it's time to play receiver or something, or time
Yeah,
just to play
they did a
defense.
switch there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they try
Again,
to make it a little closer in the second half, but you're down 18-0 at the break. It's hard to come back.
yeah, it's hard to come back from that. We saw Alexi last year for the Code 3 finals, right? Where he had not the best game as
Yeah, that
well.
was horrible. That was horrible, and he knows it. So I
So
mean, yeah. So listen,
one
playing quarterback is harder than it looks. I'm the first to
no,
say it,
no,
but you got to
100%.
realize when it's not your position to play. Anyways,
Yeah,
it is what it is. Congrats to Yard Chasers on getting the W there. So I'm looking at the upcoming matchups right in this division. So you have number one Ghosted against number eight Vultures again. So Ben McMahon, those guys, Phil Roberts, and them. They met in the regular season. Ghosted smoked Vultures 40-6. So Magali Delon, who's the usual quarterback actually for Vultures, so she's the player who was not there for Vultures. She's
I think
had a
she's on vacation.
yeah. She had a pretty solid year, but in that game she struggled. She had 5 ints, including 2 pick sixes in that week 6 matchup, right? So I mean, obviously she's gonna have to be a lot better. If it is Phil Roberts, though, I mean, we'll see. Maybe Phil could have another 7 touchdowns up his sleeve. We'll see what happens as they take on again Ghosted. That's going to be this coming Tuesday, and then Mixology, I think, Mixology or Mixolos, whatever you want to pronounce it. They're taking on the Yard Chasers. So I like this Mixolos team, man. I like them. They lost in week 1 to Yard Chasers 34-19, but there's two brothers on this team. There's a quarterback and receiver combo. Quarterback is Tristan, and the brother is Lucas. The last name is Tuisant. Like these guys have some speed. They can make plays. Lucas Tuisant, I think he's a receiver that should be playing in at the very least Division C right now. This kid is phenomenal. Not the tallest guy, but he can get by anybody in coverage. He has great hands. You can give him a handoff. He'll make some cuts. They have a really. I like the ladies on their team as well, like Alexandra Blanc, Sasha Landreville. Like those ladies can play. There's another two-way guy on their team. It's Mikael Williams Claudio. He's really good on offense, but he's a good defender too. I like this team's size and I like their speed.
No, they have a good
I think if you
roster.
look at yeah, 100%. And I like Kellyanne Pump, run pardon me for the Yard Chasers, 5 TDs in the last meeting. Marc Antoine Martin. I've seen him play a lot, 2 TDs, 2 ints. Last minute Victoria Bouchard, two touchdowns. There's a lot of skill on both teams. If I had to pick somebody right now, I think I would go with the Vultures, and I think I would go with Mixology, but I could be wrong.
You would go the Vultures against um,
Against Ghosted, yeah, I would. Yeah,
yeah, Ghosted's a really good
yeah, against
team.
Ghosted. I would.
Ghosted's a very
I
good
hear you.
team.
Listen. I have no doubt about it. I've seen them play. I've seen them play, and I agree with you 100%. They are a really good team. I just think okay, you throw the
Well,
regular season game aside, but I don't think if it is Magali Delon, I don't see her throwing five
depends who the,
ints again. Like I don't think
yeah,
that's gonna
depends who
happen.
the quarterback's going to be in that game. That's also something to say. Because if Magley is the quarterback in the game, I don't
Yeah, it's
think they're
true.
going to be
It's
able to
true.
win that game. Like, no, like, I don't want to. But she ended the season, she threw 22 TDs and 25 INTs. So, I believe in
Yeah, it's a lot of
Marcus.
ints, right? There you go. I
It's
hear
to a
you.
point
I,
where
I I just think so. Again, Ghosted is the better team. Ghost is the better team. I'm not debating that. I just think if you go up and down the roster, who has more impact players? I would say the Vultures actually do. Not taking anything away from like Chloe Bouchard, Mathis Raymond, Franco Lender. I've even seen what's her name, Anne Frederick Willette. Like they have a lot of players. Virginia, but I just think they don't have like a Emma Thompson assay. They don't have a Ben McMahon,
No,
right? I
no,
think
they don't have
yeah,
that at all. But they do what they do have. It does help them is that I feel like they're more average based team. So it's kind of like, yeah, we don't have this
it's
person,
true.
this, but they reflect better as just a whole. They're a better around team. I feel like.
But yeah, they're a deeper team. I would say that's for sure. I think they're a deeper team than the Vultures.
Vultures,
Listen,
what Vultures do have is
sorry.
experience. The Vultures
Well,
has
and,
experience.
and that matters, yeah, and that matters, right? That is that, and that also factors into it, right? I mean, I think one team is deeper, one team is more experienced, one team has bigger or better known impact players, I guess you could say, than the other. I just think, listen, if Vultures, and we've seen a ton of upsets in these playoffs, if Vultures gets the upset, I wouldn't be surprised, but should go to win, yeah, they finished 9-1 and the number one seed for a reason. I'm just saying, if Vultures can get the upset, I wouldn't be shocked.
They also are gonna need six players and not five as well too.
Oh yeah, they need six players. 100% they need six players for sure. Hopefully they'll get the sixth player and we'll see what happens. Like I said, for mixed to Loge against Yard Chasers, I want to go with the higher seed in this one. Mixed to Loge 8-2 record. They did lose again, like I said, in week one, but that's week one. It doesn't mean much. 34-19, Yard Chasers getting that W. I think Mixed to Loge is a much better team now than what they were in the first half of the season. I think they'll
Yeah,
get the W.
yeah, I would also go with mixology. I think it's mixology, but
Yeah, good chance it is.
like,
Yeah.
yeah, what yeah, I think I would go. I would also go with actually they're actually better seed. They're 8-2 and yards chasers 7-2, but it's around 7-2-1.
Yeah.
Whatever. But I mean
Yes, yeah.
they're
So
right.
three versus the five seed.
Yeah, they're right next to each other. But also for
That's
them,
it.
and
Again,
they dropped 58 on Gym Killers too, so that's a big statement game for them.
yeah. Well, that's it. They dropped 58, and listen, I don't know if again, I don't know if you've seen the brothers Tristan and Lucas Tuisan, but if you haven't, like, check them out, man. Those two guys can ball, and there's some other playmakers in that team to really make it different. Like everybody on the team plays a part. It's not just one or two players getting the ball, and that's it. Like I think all the girls on that team and all the guys on that team, they could all make a difference. And I just think they're a better team than the Yard Chasers, records aside. But I mean, mixology, they had the better record, but it is what it is.
Yeah, most better.
Because let's hop over to co-ed two. So we had a bunch of games this past Monday, two at Mary Vic, two at Papineau, their status soccer. Sanders' team, Purple Blood, knocking off Shark Attack. That was a really good game, 34-30. Anything for 31-28 victory over back that pass up. Block Party, the deepest team I think in all of FPF, with a 40-24 win over Hebrew.
Huge upset.
And the Zoomies taking care of La Guerre de Took 25-19.
Yeah, huge upset
So
for Block
four,
Party.
yep,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
they
yeah,
beat
yeah,
Hebel. They beat Hebel, the number one seed. They beat them.
exactly.
They beat them by 40-24. So they dropped. They won by 16 points.
16 points, yeah, exactly.
Block Party ended this season 3-7. So they were the bottom team, and right now they're moving.
Exactly.
They won their quarterfinals versus they won their first round versus Kamikaze 31-18. So that's upset, and now they beat Hibu 40-24. So they're right now
Yeah.
they're moving. They're going. They're gonna play a good anything team. I believe anything won last year co-ed 3. I want to say. So they're kind of new
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
co-ed 2
yeah, yeah. It's a good
division.
team
It's
though.
gonna be
Anything is
really
a good team. Let me tell you, they're a good team.
it's gonna be a point. Blockberry's gonna have. They're gonna need a good rusher. For
Yeah, Felix Derry Bernard. He could run. This guy could run. Anything when the regular season meeting in week 7 by a score of 43-16. So hopefully Block Party makes it a little closer. This time I like Block Party. I talked to you a bunch of times about them. Yvonne Solomon, kind of the leader of that team, and a bunch of other players. They play hard. They play together. They're a hard-nosed team, and they're extremely deep. So they'll be a tough out. Again, as you saw, right? They already knocked off one team. So let's see if they can make it another upset by trying to knock off Block Party. Bernard had 4 TD passes in that last meeting, 90 yards rushing. So that's something that Block Party is gonna have to stop. Mark Antoine Martin mentioned the same a few minutes ago. He struggled in that game. 6 of 16, 59 yards, one touchdown, and five INT. So he's definitely going to have to clean up his act in that game. Bunch of interceptions, like I said. Yeah, Derry Bernard, two INTs, Emil Plant, two INTs as well, right? Yves Charbonneau, two sacks. So the defense really stepped up for anything. So obviously, Block Party's going to have to bring their offensive period. You have to bring your offense to want to make it a closer game and get another upset.
Yeah, for sure.
Purple Blood here, the AFC. Go.
So I was at the Purple Blood game and the Shark Attack game, and then I was at the end of the
Okay.
Zoomies game as
Yep.
well. So just kind of just a
Okay.
recap.
Okay.
Shark Attack, horrible first half. Jean Slee was throwing the ball to wide open receivers. No one was able to catch the ball, and they came to the point where I believe they were down by like I want to
Right.
say
Right.
I want to say 18 points. They're down by 18 points. Finally, John Lee ends up throwing a ball to one of the receivers. They end up scoring. They go for onside. They get the ball thrown. They convert the onside to a pass to Jordan Alexi, right in the middle. They get the onside. They end up scoring, and then Sanders has one last drive. I think there's
Mm-hmm.
maybe like a minute left, a minute and 30 seconds left. Incomplete pass, complete pass, timeout, and it became I think a fourth and like 5. And then Sanders ended up giving. I think Emma did a double route. I think she did like an in back out. He threw a dot to her. She catches it, and she pretty much ended that game. And that was that. So
Okay.
Purple Blood ended up winning
Yeah.
that
I
game.
mean, and it's funny that you say that because if you look at the stats, right? Jean Lee Alexi, he had like 173 yards and five TDs, right? Sanders had 150 yards and only four. Obviously, Jordan Alexi, Jean Lee's brother, three TDs in that loss, and I've score kept them at least 8 of their games this year for Shark Attack in the regular season. The Alessi to Alessi combination is the real deal on this team. He does get the ball to other players, like Zachary Vincent. He led his team in yards, but like he does throw the ball a bit to the ladies, not as much as you should. Talking about Jean Lee, unfortunately, because what happens is and I've seen this with the IG team in the past, right? If he throws a receiver a ball and they drop it the first time, or definitely the second time, then he's not going to go back to them pretty much anymore. And that's, I think, one of the bad things about this team is Jordan Alexi, obviously, yeah, he's a leader. But then once you start kind of rolling your coverage over to him, you need the other players to start winning. But you know what it is. You drop a couple passes, your confidence goes a little lower. What have you, and that's what it is. Versus you look at the against Sanders' team, right? Purple Blood, right? Every receiver had at least like two or three targets in that game. I think I said Emma Thompson Aslan, Felix Clermont, Kayla Gauthier. Keep on going back and back to them. You look at again Shark Attack, right? It's Zachary and Jordan. Between the two of them, they had 19 targets. The other receivers had a total of like seven all up. Pardon me,
Yeah.
actually nine altogether, which isn't bad, but it's
So well, yeah, it's not.
it's
It's
a
not
thing. Sorry, it's long winded.
bad.
It's a
Or
thing where
four.
like he goes to his best players a lot, which he should, but then he kind of forgets the secondary receivers.
Well,
Yeah, it's not horrible. It's not horrible,
yeah,
but I
to
mean,
be,
no one had more than 25 yards for the secondary
but
receivers.
but to be honest with you, because they dropped the ball. Like Laurence Bouchard, I think she had two drops where if she catch both these dolls, I think they score both touchdowns, like wide
Right?
open.
Yeah.
And the same thing with
Mm-hmm.
Melissa Mallet. She had three big drops, wide open. John C kind of rolled out, crossbody
Right,
throw,
right, right, right.
dropped it, like probably walk in touchdown. There was a lot of drops where like he went 16 for 29. If he doesn't have half the drops, he ends up going, I think, 23 for 29 and maybe an extra touchdown, and they probably win that game, an extra yard. Sanders 13 for 17. He barely had to throw the ball, and everyone. I don't think I remember anyone dropping any ball. They're actually. Kayla Gutter, she made some
Yeah.
big catches where I was kind of surprised that she made the catches. Same thing with Emma, pretty reliable hands. Like no one had any bad drops. Same thing
Mm-hmm.
with Brianna as well. No one had any bad drops. They actually all made clutch catches for Sanders, where he was able to kind of stay composed. And
Yeah.
Sanders sometimes has crash outs. So this is one game where he was kind of composed and he was able to get
Right.
the win. They took advantage in the first half, like a huge advantage. The game looks so much closer. That's 34-30, but if they don't get that onside, this game is double
Right,
digit
right, right.
by far.
No, that's fair. That's fair. That's fair. 100%. I just think with Jean Lee again, a great quarterback, and like even like Ashley was saying, right? He has so in Division A and that, and I just saw I scored kept his game the other day in Division A with Party Crashers. We'll get to that momentarily. Like he throws like a lot of rockets, right? Like a lot of bullet shots. To Jordan, that's great. He'll catch probably everything, and maybe even sometimes to Zachary as well. But some of the other receivers on his team, they're not going to be able to catch those rocket balls. And he just launches it kind of the same way to everybody.
Yeah,
And I
exactly.
think as a quarterback, you kind of have to know your receivers. I have seen him throw some softer passes to some of the receivers, but you can't throw the ball to someone under pressure. You're under pressure, and you have to gun it in there. But you kind of have to know your receivers a bit, where you know where they like the ball and how they like it delivered, right? But
No,
it is what
100%.
it is. Again, you have no offensive line, so you're trying to get the ball out quick as you can. Sometimes it is what it is.
Yeah.
All right.
So I got to see that
So yeah.
game, and then
So yeah,
just
Purple Blood taking on the Zoomies.
and then anything versus Block Party.
Yeah, yeah. Purple Blood beat the Zoomies 40-39 in week 4, so a close game. And that one, so Kayla Goche, who we just talked about, she had 3 TDs for Purple Blood in that victory. So big outing for her. Sanders had 6 TD passes in that game. So it's gonna be two playmakers. So Sanders against Gabe Dab Champagne, right? So two tall, two athletic quarterbacks going at it in that Purple Blood versus Zoomies matchup. So I'm really looking forward to that against that matchup. And anything versus Block Party will be this coming Tuesday, August 19th. That wraps it up for Co-Ed 2. Let's hop over quick to Co-Ed 1 here. So Co-Ed 1 semifinals will take place as well next Tuesday, August 19th. We have Chat GTD, the number 2 seed, taking on the number 3 seed, Lego My Flag. So battle 7-3 GTD against 6-1 Lego My Flag. They split the regular season series 1 game apiece. Lego My Flag winning 38-32 in week 3. Jeff Rosenblatt, arguably his best game of the season, 6 touchdowns in that game. Their defense had 3 interceptions of AJ Gomez. And the rematch, Chat GTD getting revenge, winning by a score of 32-25. That was 2 weeks later, so in week 5. Rebound game for AJ, who had 211 yards, 5 touchdown passes in that one. Strong defense is shown by Chat GTD. In the second half, they limited Lego My Flag to a season low 6 points in the second half. So obviously a big win there for Chat GTD. So this would be the ultimate rubber match next Tuesday. And then we have the top seed and number 1 seed, the Merge, taking on the number 4 seed, the IG team. Week 1, the Merge won 52-27. 53-27. That was in week 3, I should say. Athena Ryan played at quarterback in replace of Jean-Lee Alexi. She had a couple of touchdown passes, but a couple of picks as well. Jean-Lee was back for the week 6 affair, 43-39 win for the Merge, over the IG team. So one question I want to ask you, Quaysie, is obviously Marc-Andre Reeves, right? Climbing that ladder, putting himself in the top 5 conversation for quarterbacks in all of FPF. In the 2 games, 11 touchdown passes, only 1 INT against the IG team this year. What does the IG team need to do to stop Marc-Andre Reeves?
Stop his running abilities. If he's able
Okay.
to take off and kind of run where he wants, he doesn't. The thing is, he also doesn't like to run to beginning. He likes to roll out a certain way and tries to make the pass. But if he has to run,
Yeah.
he'll take off. But they have to get
Yeah.
a rush.
Yeah.
I don't know who's going to rush for that team. They're going to have to probably most likely put a guy to rush.
Would you put Jean-Lee as your rusher? He has experience.
No, I wouldn't put John Slee, but also John Slee has a pretty bad ankle right now, so I don't think he's
No.
gonna be
Okay.
rushing. I would have to go with probably his brother, Jordanson Alexi. I think he's probably gonna have
Okay.
to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jordan Alexi. He's gonna have to pick probably one of the guys are gonna have to rush 100%. Um, maybe also a Stella too. Stella's not bad. She's pretty
Yeah.
fast.
Yeah. She is
Stella
fat,
as well.
100%.
But again, like
Yeah.
you kind of want to take out his running ability. If you're able to take out his running ability, it kind of caps him a bit on how he throws the ball because again he's a great quarterback. He understands most of the concept, and you can see that it's the reason why he won quarterback of the year for Division B and for 5v5. He knows what he's doing. So if you're giving him the run and the pass, it becomes a huge problem. So you're gonna have to take one out the way. So they're gonna
No, no,
it's
it
gonna
makes it makes perfect sense, honestly.
it's gonna be rushing is gonna be huge for them.
Yeah, and like you said, like you try to take away one thing, let them have one, but you got to try to take away the other, right? Like you gotta kind of live with what you want to give up to kind of look at the bigger picture and try to shut something else down that could hurt you even more, right? Easier said than done, obviously. I'm playing Marc Andre Reeves. Quick question, totally off topic. Well, not off topic, but I mentioned a few minutes ago. Do you put Marc Andre Reeves in your top five quarterbacks right now in FPF?
No, I put him top 10.
Top 10. Okay. Wow. Okay. Okay. If you went to championship here in Quad 1, does that change your opinion? Does it go a little higher on your list?
It depends. It depends how he wins the championship. Because co-ed one, like
Okay. Okay.
it's co-ed one is a bit different than winning a Division A or Division B championship. Let him win championships where it's a bit different. I don't want to say like it co-ed is like I don't want to sound. What I'm trying to say is that like Code One is a championship. I don't think it brings you to a tier you're playing. Your tier it makes me top five. You don't have most of the best quarterbacks playing co-ed in general, right? So if you
Okay.
put, let's say, more guys, let's say you put Jesse Dupree, Fred Dupree, you put in Jeff now throwing in thing. You put in Dan. You put more of those quarterbacks playing in co-ed. It kind of saying like it would be a bit more difficult for him to maybe win as many games that he's winning and to show who's actually the best quarterback, right? Because your stats during quarterback and co-ed, it's not the same stats that you could have playing men's, right? So I think
Right.
for him to kind of be one of the top five quarterbacks is one he's gonna have to start winning championships starts with Division B.
Hmm.
I think he's still in Division B too, but I guess we're
No,
gonna
he
talk
is. Yeah, Shake and Bake. Yeah, Shake and Bake is playing. They're in the
yeah,
semis.
so let's go with him starting to win a Division B championship first, and
Hmm.
also 5v5 too. I know he's in 5v5 too. I didn't really check to see the standings for that,
Yeah.
but I think he
Yeah.
has to win those type of championships first before winning like co-ed. Because at the end of the day, I think it's like co-ed. I don't think it's at that level yet to say I'm a top quarterback in the. I don't. I'm a top five quarterback. Is what I'm trying to get at.
Okay. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay. So let's switch now. So co-ed is done. Ladies are done. You want to do 5v5 or you want to get to the 6-on-6 with the men's?
Let's go 5v5. It's not that.
All right.
Might as
All
well
right. Cool.
just. So we have
Shout to it.
intermediate.
Yep.
We had Blue Dry play FC Bling, which was 30-0, so that was a forfeit. And then you had five guys that took out Ambush, that was 38 to
Yeah.
33,
Hmm.
where Ben was at quarterback that game. Five guys got a huge start on them for going to the first half. It was 26-15. And then Ambush, I think they were able to catch up. Ben went 20 for 28, 201 yards, 4 TDs, one INT. I believe he also did a trick pass to Alex Sapaza.
Yes. Sablaski, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so he ended up doing a trick pass to that. And yeah, I guess I feel like five guys just had a faster start, and Ambush wasn't able to come back after that. I didn't see the game, but that's what I'm going to assume. But also, I'm looking at it now. Ben scored with the last. There's 3 plays left. They tried to onside kick. It didn't work. So pretty much. Oh, did it work,
Yeah.
Jack? No, no, no. It didn't work. Yeah. So they
Oh,
scored. They made it a 5-point game. Tried to go onside kick. It didn't work, and they ended up losing by 5.
yeah. So what that sets up now is for the semis. So number two seed, pardon me, still CRA taking on the number 3 seed Blue Dragon. Blue Dragon coming off that forfeit victory. Still CRA beat them 20-13 in week 4. And then we have Legion. So the Giants against Five Guys, number 1 seed Giants, number 5 seed Five Guys. Five Guys beat them 47-38 back in week 7. So we'll have to see. Two close games, at least first time around in both those matchups. We'll have to see if it's going to be close this time around. How do you see these two games shaking out? It's still CRA and Blue Dry, and then Five Guys and the Giants.
I think this is actually going to be a good game. One thing I do like about intermediate this year is that everyone was pretty good. If you look at the standings, right? Giants went 7-3, CR 7-3, Blue Giants 7-3, Ambush 7-3, Five
Yep.
Guys 6-4. So a lot of the games were kind of, and then you have FC Bling 1-9 and Montreal Mavericks 0-10. But the four teams that we're getting right now into the semifinals, they all have positive records. So, and everyone's
Yeah.
scoring, everyone's playing good defense. Like a lot of the stat wise, all the points, like point for, points against, like everyone has good averages. So we're looking at a really good semifinals from all these four teams. Regarding who's gonna win and who's gonna lose, um, I'm gonna have to say for the first game, still CRA versus Blue Dry. It's really gonna be on the quarterback from CRA. What's his name?
It's
Ryan.
Ryan Karuf.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's gonna be on
Karuf.
him. It's gonna be how
Yeah.
how he plays this game because he's also a team too. One thing I realized with him is that he has to score points. I feel like if they don't
Yeah.
crack the 30-yard mark or the 30-point mark, he's gonna have a problem. Regarding for Blue
Oh yeah,
Dry,
for
right
sure.
now, they're also Blue Dry is also a team that like they did get a forfeit to get into the thing, so
Yeah.
that's a week
Yep.
left of football, right? So last game they played was July 29th and we're August 18th, so they haven't
Yeah, it's a
played
long time.
technically as a
It's a
team
long
the
time.
last 20 days, I want to say. So I think that might have a little problem there, but I think CRA is going to take care of business and that matchup, and then I'm gonna have to give it to for the next game. Actually, I didn't get to really see Mark Reeves play 5v5 this year. Um,
I've seen him play.
One thing I
I've
do
seen
have
him
to say
play.
is that his running ability is not there because you can't run in five v
Yeah.
five, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it to Five Guys. I think Five Guys are gonna be able to take that win and get themselves into finals.
Okay. I mean, listen. I think it's gonna be two really good matchups. I think. I mean, looking at it at least from the outside looking in, I mean, it's still CRA and Blue Jay. Obviously, my guy Fred Juno, quarterback for Blue Jay. He has a lot of weapons on his team. I think I could see them getting the upset win. Obviously, it didn't work out that way in week 4. I think Dry is a lot better team now in the second half of the season than they were in the first. I could see them winning, and I could see Five Guys potentially beating Legions. But again, Legions are not a team to mess with. Right? They're the number one seed for a reason. I think that'd be a toss up. You know what? I'm going to give the edge. Actually, I think Legions are going to get revenge and get the last laugh. I think they're going to get I want to say about a 2 to 3 point victory over Five Guys.
Well,
All
one
right.
thing I do have to say, these games it's gonna be semifinals is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be good games. I'm not. I'm gonna be
Yeah,
surprised
not
if one team
disappointed.
gets blown out, but I think all these
Mhm.
two semifinal games in intimate is gonna be good.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough. All right, let's hop over to competitive. The final 4 teams are set. Next Tuesday, it'll be the number 2 seed Raw Dogs taking on the number 8 seed No Regard. Again, No Regard coming off a big upset victory last week. And then number 3 Montreal Magic taking on number 4 seed the Braves. I'm not gonna lie, a little biased. That is the matchup I'm looking forward to the most. I score kept their last game in Laval to close out the regular season. The talking between Mike Pearson, AJ, Joe Mahu. Like it just went on and on and on. It was great. It was a great game. 35-32 win for Montreal Magic back in week 10. Looking here between Raw Dogs and No Regard. Raw Dogs are looking for the 3 game sweep. So what that means, obviously, the Raw Dogs beat No Regard twice in the regular season. First, 41-36 in week 3. Then 1 week later in week 4, they won by a score of 26-18. So that should be a high impact entertaining matchup as well. Raw Dogs and No Regard, and of course Montreal Magic and the Braves.
Dramatic should be a show. That's definitely a game that
Oh yeah.
I think I said
Oh
before. If
yeah.
you want to watch some good competitive 5v5 football, that's a game that you want to be at. To be honest, semifinals for a lot of these games are gonna be really good. Like I know
Mm-hmm.
Monday is at Papineau in Vic, and
Yep.
on Tuesday it's in Brossard, which you're gonna be scorekeeping. So
Yep.
you're gonna see a lot of good games.
I'll be there. Yeah, it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to both games. Again, the trash talking, the athleticism, the impact players is gonna be it's gonna be something to watch. I'm making sure I tune in. May even go down to Maryvick on a Monday and check it out as well. It's not the closest to my house, but I mean, I may check it out. I love football, so why not?
Yeah, it should be good games too as well. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so let's go to 6v6.
Yep. Let's go with Division F here.
Yeah,
So
we
the
have.
Division F. Sorry.
Yeah, no, go ahead. You could go on.
I was gonna say we had one forfeit and one blowout in the semifinals. So Sunday in Lavelle, we had a forfeit, first down sniffers beating Rosemary Ronald Pills 30-0 via forfeit. Obviously, not much to talk about there. PSTM, a team who I've talked about tons of times this season. They had a little bit of a slump there, a little bit after the midway point of the season. They ended up dropping from the number one seed, dropped down a bit, but they've kind of refound themselves. Big win, 27-13 over my favorite team, the Jamaican bobsled team. Shout out to Jesse. So I think his last name, I think I had the pronunciation now. Kotlarzik. I think it's Jesse Kotlarzik. When I see him next time, I will ask him. I haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, but I think it's Kotlarzik. Only 9 completions. He went 9 of 23 for 104 yards, three TD passes and one rushing TD in the victory. And the guy who I think is the best player on their team, Mr. Jordan Lee, 3 catches, 67 yards, one TD as a receiver, but he had 2 INTs on defense. That defense was just crazy. They had 3 INTs in general. Picking off Stephen Polizzi, the quarterback for Jamaican bobsled team. Again, I like PSTM. I have thought pretty much the whole season, minus that beatdown they got by the Gamblers. But other than that, I've thought the PSTM is the best team here in Div F, and they have a chance to win it all, right?
Yeah, they had a crazy first half too. They scored 27 in the first half, zero second half.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
just
that's concerning. That's concerning.
yeah, concerning, but it kind of
That's
says
concerning.
like they did what they had to do the first half. They didn't get to finish second half, but they did so much damage in the first half that they didn't have to worry about it. And their defense did come in clutch with getting 3 INTs. I'm pretty sure they probably got a couple stops too on some turnovers as well.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Looking at the regular season, so it was weird in Div F of all the teams. These teams played each other twice already. The finals matchup, of course, being first down sniffers, number one seed against the number 5 seed PSTM. So PSTM won the first meeting in week 4, 18-7. So talk about some good defense right there. And they played 1 week later, first down sniffers, a game I scored kept. They won 25-24 in that matchup. Went down to like the last play of the game, if I remember correctly. I was writing down on my notes here. I know Matthew Couturier, the quarterback for first down sniffers. I was writing in my notes, but let me just make it easier on myself here and go to the game breakdown. I'm pretty sure it went down to like literally the final play of the game between these two teams. Yeah, it was I think Guillaume Couture. No, Guillaume Couture had a pick six in that game. Sorry, I'm just gonna sort of aimlessly trying to look the scribble that I wrote as my notes.
But
Yeah,
any
here it is right here.
18-7 and then
Yeah, 18-7 was the first meeting. I'm talking about the 24 showdown, the last meeting of the regular season. I believe there was a stop. Yeah, so yeah, exactly. Yeah, Philip Desjardins got a 10-yard touchdown pass on the final play of the game from Matthew Couturier, which is why First Down Sniffers got the win um, over PSTM. So what happened in that game was, I remember PSTM had the ball deep in their own territory. On a fourth down, they tried to get a pass from so Koslarzik tried to hit James Masio trying to pass, ended up falling incomplete. But they turned the ball over on their own 10-yard line instead of punting the ball to end the game. This is where Division F comes in. A lot of teams just don't know, or they should know by now. But you punt the ball and the game is over. They decided to go for it on fourth down. They turned the ball over. Final play of the game, first down sniffers, hit the game-winning touchdown. Hence why they lost. Well, the
yeah,
first down
but I
sniffers got
mean,
the win.
lesson learned, right? At the end of the day,
I would hope
lesson.
so. I would hope so. Because they basically PSTM stole defeat from the jaws of victory. I know the saying is usually defeat from the victory from the jaws of defeat. No, it's the opposite this time. They stole defeat from the jaws of victory. The PSTM with that boneheaded decision to try to go for on fourth down when you have the lead deep in your own territory. But yeah, like you said, learning experience. We all make mistakes. No one's perfect. Question obviously now is can this is a rubber match? Can First Down Sniffers do it again, or can PS? They're the number one seed. I sound like they're pulling off an upset here, but they're not. But can First Down Sniffers kind of find that last second miracle, or can PSTM put them away this time and pull off what would be the actual upset, seeing that they're the 5 seed versus the number 1 seed?
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. We're going to have good finals,
Definitely,
especially
definitely.
if we get a same game 24-25, and hopefully no one makes the same mistake as last time. But
There you
big.
go. Exactly, exactly. All right, let's hop over to Division E. So we saw two upsets, one forfeit, and a blowout. Forfeit, Aries University, the number 6 seed, knocking off the number 9 seed, not fast, just furious, 30-0. Again, forfeit, nothing to talk about there. Blowout, Reborn Prospects with a 32-0 victory. So not a forfeit, an actual game played, but a 32-0 victory over the number 12 seed in the Unicorn. So congrats to the number 2 seed, Reborn Prospects. They were up 18-0 at the half. It's pretty much over from there. Looking at it quickly, I know so rookie quarterback Jean Clermont Cesar Jr., 159 yards, 4 TDs. He also had a rushing TD as well. He was pretty solid. McRodley, Jean Marie, and Keldon Coach each had 2 touchdowns in that game. Uh, Jean Marie, as a defensive back, had 3 INTs in that game. Paul Burrow Jr. had an INT as well. Sean Costello, quarterback, we've talked about a little bit here throughout the season. Yeah, it was just an ugly game for him. 7 of 24 for 90 yards and 4 INTs. So that's pretty much just going to doom your team. And unfortunately, that happened to the Unicorns. So again, they fell by a score of 32-0. Let's get to the upsets though. Richter, a team I thought was going to at least make a trip to the finals, led by Jeremy Steinberg. They lost by a score of 20-18. Richter's the 3rd seed. They lost to the number 10 seed in armed robbery. That game came down to the wire. Again, obviously a 2-point win. Uh, armed robbery was up 13-12 at the halftime, and then they ended up outscoring their opponent 7-6 after the break. So a bit of an offensive letdown for both teams in the second half, but 20 points was enough to get the W. Richter had no conversions at all in that game, and that's a huge reason why they lost. They scored 3 touchdowns, but no 1 point,
They,
no 2 point
they,
convos.
they went for they scored in the last play and they went for two to win to tie it and they didn't get it.
Yeah, with that exactly. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Again, no convos. This is why they lost the game. But yeah, you're right. They did get a touchdown, but again, just they couldn't get that 2 point convo to send it in overtime. I believe it was Daniel DeFore actually got his second touchdown of the game for Richter. Just couldn't punch it into the end zone. And the biggest upset. So a friend of the show, an FPF employee as well, teammate of mine, Keon Cyrus. His team, sophomore XL, had dreams of going undefeated, winning a championship. Had a 10-0 regular season, but they cannot get it done as they fell 40-24 to Studs 2. So the number 1 seed is done in sophomore XL. I know those guys are heartbroken over it because I talking to Keon, he mentioned a lot about sophomore XL, sophomore XL. They really thought they had a good chance to run the table, as did I. But unfortunately for them, they fell again to Studs 2. Shout
Unfortunate.
out
They're
to
having a
yeah,
season.
yeah,
Happy
unfortunate for
lost
sure.
to 10 seed too, but again, arm they lost versus they lost to
Studs 2 with the victory.
yeah, Suds 2 is a 10 seed coming into this.
I believe so. Let me double check here. That's why I checked that. Shout out
Suds
though to
yeah.
Studs 2. Yeah. Just shout out though to Studs 2 quarterback Pierre Olivier Bone Lefebvre, 22 of 30, 244 yards, 6 TDs. He also had an INT as a defensive back as well. So
He
shout out to
dropped
him.
yeah, he dropped yeah. So Studs 2 was a 13 seed going to playoffs, 6-4.
Yeah.
Pretty much the middle of the pack. Not
Mhm.
not bad at all, but they do what they do, and they were close to they scored 331 points this season, so they're averaging 30
Yeah,
points per game. So they did a great job
that
being
is
able
true.
to
That
knock
is
out
true.
the number one sophomore XL 10-0. Sometimes it's a curse, you know. Sometimes when you win too many games, or when you go undefeated, it's kind of like maybe
Hmm.
we should have had that loss because I feel like it's to a point where
Yep.
you're so used to winning, and it's like, what's the feeling of going down, or what's the feeling like almost losing a game? I feel like sophomore Excel kind of were able. They're the top of the team going into the playoffs, and the fact that going into the first half it was 18-19. I don't think sophomore Excel was kind of used to having a team kind of being neck to neck, and also not a lot of the teams going neck to neck, and to the point that Studs kind of kept the pedal on the metal and they're able to score 21 in the second half, while Sophomore Excel kind of slowed down and only scored 7.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised. Speaking to your point, I mean, I know earlier in the season, the majority of the sophomore XL victories were blowout victories, but then they kind of came back to the pack a little bit in week 11 versus Sourpuss. It was a 3-point win. And then even in the divisional round, right, against Demons, it's 49-25. Okay, maybe that's a bit of a blowout. I'm just surprised because sophomore Excel, right? When they were, I think they were Granddaddy Perp before they became sophomore Excel, and then they were horrible. And they'll be the first ones to admit they were horrible. I remember 2 seasons ago watching them, and it's like these guys, this is not good. They had no quarterback, and they were struggling. They added some pieces, and collectively as a unit, they all got better. I'm just surprised because they went through a lot of losing in the first season or 2 seasons, really, and then now they finally started to win. I figured that'd be a team that would be able to pull it out in close for tight game, but unfortunately for them, they didn't. Shout out to Mike Schiller, a guy who subbed on my team a couple of times, 3 TDs in that game. Keon as well had a touchdown. Shout out to those guys. Vans let the quarterback 4 touchdown passes in that game, but again, just the a bigger shout out to the studs too, right? Their offense came and they came to play, man. They dropped 40 points, and I believe I'm looking at it right now. There's only one other team I think that dropped more than 40 or 40 or more, I should say, on sophomore. So that's actually Sourpuss in the week 11 game. So against us too now, they punch their ticket, right? So they're gonna have a big
Well,
matchup.
they have semis actually.
Yeah,
Semis.
so yeah, like punch your ticket to the semifinals, right? So I mean, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens now because you look at the semifinal matchups. Let's get to that quickly here. I
Well,
mean, for the
they get
semis,
they get reborn prospects. They get the
yeah,
other
exactly,
pretty much from our team. So
exactly.
it's not going to get easier for them, right? It's gonna
No,
to the
it's gonna be
point
harder.
you kind of would see sophomore and reborn were kind of neck to neck. They end up
Yep.
being one. They end up finishing one lower than each other. But I mean, it's not going to get
Hmm.
easier for studs. It's going to be a point where okay, well, like they can't take this as that game was their championship game. You know,
Oh, not at
sometimes
all.
like a lot of
They'll get
teams.
beat.
Sorry.
Now, if they do, they'll get beat. Like speaking to your point.
Yeah, exactly. I know some teams sometimes when you have a big upset like that, it's like you think you won the championship there, but it's like okay, guys, we won here. Next game, you know. Um,
No, that's it. That's it. Looking at it, I know so studs two and reborn prospects did not play during the regular season. Just looking here for armed robbery and Ayers University. They met in week 6. Ayers University with a 43-28 victory over armed robbery. So one first time matchup and another obviously armed robbery looking to get the last laugh and avenge that week 6 loss to Ayers University. All right, let's hop over to Division D here.
I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna get my charger.
Yeah, no
I'm gonna
worries.
put it on light because it's getting kind of dark.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll start off the Division D rundown.
Yeah.
I'm gonna try and
Okay.
wrap this up in the next 20 minutes. Cool. So Div D, quarterfinal recap: 4 nail biters in Division D that took place this other day. So a game I got the score keep, number 1 seed, the Nighthawks. They knocked off. Pardon me, sorry, Rick and Marty rather. They knocked off the Nighthawks by a score 16-7. I got to tell you, there was a ton of mistakes in that game, a ton of ints, a ton of drop passes. Nighthawks had 3 trips to the red zone. They came up empty in pretty much almost all of them. There was a bad snap on 4th down, which really hurt the Nighthawks. Both teams on 4th down combined to win 2 of 10. So they combined to go 2 of 10 on 4th down between the Nighthawks and Rick and Marty. So definitely an ugly game. But when Rick and Marty needed to play, Brent and Burke, I believe, getting the game winning touchdown for his team in that W. So good wins, pretty wins, ugly wins, they all matter as long as you get the W. So congrats to Rick and Marty for knocking off the Nighthawks. That 16-7 win for Rick and Marty. They scored all 16 points in the first half, and obviously 7 for the Nighthawks. That was in the second half. So I told you to be in appearance by the dog. You can hear the dog in the background. Second matchup that took place was studs, so regular studs, not studs too. The regular studs team, they knocked off the Super Troopers 40-38. Bit of a second half choke job by Kenny Batilier, Zach Edwards Gill, and the boys of Super Troopers. They were up 26-14 at the half, but then got outscored 26-12. In the second half, Phil Jelena, 6 TDs for the studs in that contest. Kenny Batouye had a solid game of his own, 4 TD passes, 2 rushing TDs. Antoine Claron there had 18. He had an 18-yard touchdown as a walk-off touchdown for the winner in that contest. So heartbreak for the Super Troopers. They're a team that got a first round bye. It's just heartbreaking 2 point win, 2 point loss. Pardon me, ends their season. So we talked about sophomore XL in Division E. So FBI FC is kind of their higher division team. If you will, not every single player plays on both teams, but guys like Keon, obviously one of the key players on that team, does. They were able to get by Rum and Coke, another nail biter, another tight one, 39-38. Will Power, 3 TD receptions in that game for his team. So a big outing by him. Phil Roberts, we talked about earlier, he played quarterback for this team as well. Six touchdown passes, but 2 INTs in that game. Unfortunately for his team and Rum and Coke. Again, this is just a shootout that went down to the wire. Like I said, though, Rum and Coke, pardon me, FBI FC getting the W in that context. Kyle Fulkerson, the quarterback for FBI FC, 6 touchdown passes in the game, and he has 6 carries for, get this, 123 yards. Yes, 6 carries for 123 yards in that game. So Fulkerson, who's definitely dual threat quarterback, looking like a bit of a running back in that contest. I wanted to just give you the quick math here. So basically, Kyle Fulkerson averaged 21 yards a carry. So no matter whether you're quarterback or running back or whatever, fullback, whatever you want to call yourself, receiver, averaging 21 yards a carry. Pretty good in the words of Larry David. All right. Yeah. Okay. So you're back. My apologies.
You're good. You're good.
Yeah. Looking at, so one of the secondary players. So Nick Zaharatos, 1 TD in that game, 3 tackles, bit of a quiet game, but he had 3 extra point, 1 point in convo attempts, I should say, for his team. So that obviously goes to that victory. Anthony Drysdale, a 2 yard TD to get his team within a point. Rum and Coke went for the 2 point convo for the win. They didn't want to go to overtime, but unfortunately they couldn't connect, and that ends their season. Heartbreaking loss for Rum and Coke.
Unfortunately for Ben.
Yeah, it
Phil.
sucks. Yeah. Phil, Anthony, all those boys. It's a heartbreaking loss. Again, one of the questions, we'll get to the poll results in a minute, but one of the questions I had was, what's the worst way to lose a playoff game? I said there was a blowout, there was like a Hail Mary touchdown, a long TD run, or I guess one of these close heartbreaking losses. We'll have to see what the results are when we get to the polls later on, the juice, if you will. So the sets up now, semifinals, 10-0, Snowden Deli Deegans. They're taking on the number 12 seed in the Studs. I believe it's the top 2 offenses actually in this Division D. And we have Rick and Marty taking on FBI FC. So Rick and Marty beat FBI FC 22-21 in week 9. So again, keeps up the theme of close games. So hopefully we'll have another one here between these 2 squads.
Be a good Tuesday is gonna be Tuesday's gonna be bumping. There's gonna be a lot of good
Oh,
games.
for sure. Oh, for sure. 100%, my friend. 100%. So yeah, Soda and Deli Deacons, my bad. I score kept this game. I should have mentioned that. They knocked off Veer Links 39-32. You're talking before, obviously, about that Shark Attack game not being as close as the final score would indicate. Same thing with the Snowden Deli Deacons win over Veer Links. Veer Links looked like they were in control early in that game. Snowden Deli Deacons got the first touchdown, but then Veer Links was just starting to march the field and they were having their way, and then they just kind of took their foot off the gas a bit in the second half. Stanley Deli Deegans, obviously led by Adam Malinoff, just kind of like he kind of found his groove, as did the rest of the offense. And then his Viewlings, they couldn't get off the field seemingly. Like it was a 25-19 lead at halftime for Stanley Deli Deegans, just 14-13 lead for them in the second half, scoring their opponents by 1. But it's just I don't know. It felt like Stanley Deli Deegans again. They're just kind of finding the rhythm, and the Viewlings defense just they didn't have any answers.
I actually talked because I was that's the game that was played on the Tuesday, right? I believe.
No, it was Sunday. It was Sunday in Bizarre.
And Brossard, yeah, sorry. So I saw Adam when I was I was going to the field, and I asked him if he won, and he's like, yeah. He's like, oh, it was pretty easy. We kind of almost dropped the ball. He's like, they scored, they got a onside kick, and I was like, oh, okay. And after he's like, oh, we were fine after that. But he kind of told me, like that kind of happened, and it's to a point where it's a 12-point turn. It could be a 14-point turnaround. You know, you're up by 20 points, and all of a sudden, 20 turns into a 7, like right away. They score, they get onside, they score again, get a 2-point convert. It's a 14-point swing, you know. So
no, 100%. That's I'll elaborate that a little bit more. My bad. I didn't mention that part. So Olivier McDuff, he scored a touchdown. I want to say it was the last play, the second to last play of the game. He got a touchdown from Olivier Robichaud. So he scored a touchdown with yeah, 4 plays left in the game. And then you're right, they went for the onside, and he scored a 45 yard. So he had a 5 yard touchdown. Then he went for the onside instead of the extra point. 45-yard touchdown. Olivier McDuff got behind everybody. There was a pass. I think it went off a hat, and McDuff caught it for the touchdown. So he got 2 plays in a row, 2 touchdowns. They got the extra point. So at that point, then they're down 39-32. So what Malinoff did, this is a smart thing. He ran for 8 yards on first down because he needs to kill the clock. He ran for 8 yards, then he took back-to-back sacks on purpose to kill the clock and kill the game. But you're right, that game ended up being a lot closer than it should have been. Shout out to Sam Anastasopoulos, again, teammate of mine, stand-up dude. He was on fire. He had 2 beautiful INTs in that game. So I just want to make sure. He had a touchdown in that contest. Should have been 2. There was one they said that he got tackled at the 1 yard line. I wasn't too sure that one either. But he wasn't too happy about that being called. But he did have a nice touchdown. Yeah. And Sam as well had 2 INTs. One of them, he just baited the quarterback, and Robichaud jumped in front of it, almost ran it back to the hell. So shout out to him and his team on getting it done. But like you said, that game is a little bit closer than it should have been between the Stolen Deli Deacons and Ville Lynx. All right. It's hold on here. You want to go to C, or do you want to break down these matchups quick? Well, no, okay, no, we said that. No, we said Rick and Marty against FBI FC. Rick and Marty got the W.
That's what I figured.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. We're good. Div C it is.
See, we go.
So 2 more divisions.
Okay. So we had Speed Academy versus Beer Belly
Brigade. Yep.
Brigade. Pizza Cat versus All Blacks. Super Daddies versus Jagger Bombs, and LeBron Taraj versus Coldest. So I was actually I got to see the Speed Academy game.
Okay,
it was
nice,
actually
nice.
it was close at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Both teams were they were driving their game, their drives down. Both teams are scoring. That's what I was seeing on both the sides.
Yeah.
Both teams were scoring, and then I kind of left around second half. I saw Speed Academy score. I believe they're up by 2 scores at this point.
That's when the scoring stopped.
Yeah, I kind of stopped after that, but it goes to show Beer Belly didn't score any points in the second half.
Yeah.
Speed Academy only scored 6.
Yeah, exactly.
They got the 11-point win, and they punched their ticket to the semis.
Yeah, to the semis. And shout out to Emil Plant, 4 TDs in that game. Felix Derry Bernard, the top receiver, arguably in this division, 75 yards, 2 touchdowns. His teammate Maxime Brissett, 2 touchdowns as well. I'm not too much of a surprise. Speed Academy, again, I played against these guys. They were simply a better team. Again, no Alex Fafard for Bill Belly Brigade. I think even if he did play, I still would pick Speed Academy. So basically the top 3 teams advanced, and the number 4 seed and Super Daddies end up losing. So they lose to Jaggerbomb, right? 33-21. The Jaggerbomb's the team that beat us the week before and eliminated us in the first round of the playoffs. Jaggerbomb defense, I want to tell you, man, 11 pass deflections off of Super Daddy's quarterback, Jared Buck. Those guys came to play. On offense, Simon Dechen, 5 TD passes. Felix Fontaine LaRouche, 2 TDs. Jean-Felix Daluz is the number 1 receiver, 2 TDs. Kevin Marcel, TD as well. But yeah, defensively, Jean-Felix Daluz and Kevin Marcel both had 4 pass deflections each. That team just came to play. They were up 19-7 at the half, and then it was 14-14 in the second half. But I think that first half slow start by Sugar Daddies really did them in.
That's crazy. 11 PDs is actually pretty insane. The fact they got 11 PDs and not 1 INT is very...
Yeah. Listen, I wish I was there the week before against us. So I'll tell you, we have 2 INTs, and
exactly. It's a bit kind of concerning because it depends how a PD is, but the fact that they have 11, they don't have 1 INT.
Yeah. I mean, they're getting their hands on the ball at least, so you have to give them credit for that.
Exactly. Yeah, but 11 is a lot, you know.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, this is why the defensive backs are not receiver. I mean, obviously some of those guys play receiver, but the whole joke is, right, if you can't catch, you play defensive back. But
for sure. What it is. They probably swatted a shit ton of the balls.
But. Yeah, 100%. Number 2, LeBron Taraj knocking off number 8, Coldest, 39-38. So again, another close game. That one could have went either way. Coldest quarterback, So Coldest James Dozil got a 5-yard TD on the second to last play. They were looking to go for the 2-point convo in the win. They failed to get it, hence why they lost 39-38.
A lot
in
of
that
games are
game.
ending on going for two. It seems like.
Yeah, well, it makes sense, right? You don't want to go to overtime, right? You said it plenty of times on the podcast, myself included. Go for two, go for the win. Although I think in overtime you may want to go for the tie, but
Overtime
it
is
is what it
overtime
is.
is so much different. Like
Yeah,
with three
yeah,
attempts, it kind of saying it depends on how comfortable you feel too. If you've been going for one play convert, like Coldest got two 1 point converts. I mean,
yeah,
they've gotten a few. They didn't get any 2 point converts, so maybe you go for that 1 point since you already got two of them, right?
yeah.
I'm sure they
Shoot.
scored 38 here, so that means they scored five touchdowns. No, rushing six, so they were about 20 at six attempts. They got two out of six. So I think that's 20%, or like 15%. 15 times six is 16. 15%, I think, or
Oh,
17.5%, like
yeah.
that.
By the way,
Percentage wise.
they,
So, but I
they,
mean, like, not the great. I think 30. I don't know if I do math here, but
but whatever.
they're
They didn't get the one they needed the most, right? At the end of the game. That's
yeah,
what matters
exactly.
most,
But
I
I feel
think.
like maybe you go for one. You didn't get any. You haven't conceded any 2 point converts, but but you've
Yeah, it's
conceded
true.
one. So maybe you go for the tie, and then you go into the
You
playoff.
played
You go
overtime, yeah.
yeah, exactly. You go in momentum too, right? You just scored, get the 1 point convert, go into overtime. Overtime, there's three attempts too, right? So it's not like it's
Yeah,
1-1.
exactly. Exactly.
But again, LeBron Tourage is one of the top
Yeah,
teams going into this.
the number two seed, yeah.
They had a great season. They ended up going 8-2,
Yep.
and they were my team to win. So
Okay, okay. I definitely could see that. I mean, shout out to Gianni Cassetti, six TD passes in that game. Gucci, Sam Amambo, five TD passes and a rushing TD. Get a 1 point victory for John C. Alexi, three TD receptions in that game. Ahmed Bubakar for LeBron tries three TDs as well. So a lot of athletes: James Dozell, Dante Spirina, Tristan Mancini, a lot of former and current university players in that. So shout out to all of them. LPC, Le Petit Carrots, number one seed, knocking off the number 11 seed All Blacks 24-20. Convos played a huge role now. LPC, who loves to go for two, they got three 2 point conversions. All
team,
Blacks only had one, right? And there was just a 1 point conversion. So that plays a big role in the win. Jason Reyes, two TD passes, one TD run. Phyllis Boutte, TD reception. Mike Fafard, TD reception for the Petit Carrots. Emile Decoteau, rusher for Shake and Bake, also for the Petit Carrots, two sacks in that game. Jaden Melrose, two sacks for the All Blacks. Mike Frenier, he led his way with about three TDs as well. So pretty impressive there. All Blacks. I played against these guys. They're a good team, almost knocking off the Petit Carrots. This is why I was annoyed with my team losing to Jagerbomb. We lost to the Petit Carrots last year in the playoffs. Went down to literally the last play of the game. I wanted a rematch with those guys. The All Blacks almost knocked them off. I would have liked our chances a bit better, but it is what it is. Congrats to Le Petit Carrots, the number one seed advancing, the Tourage, number two seed, Speed Academy, the number three seed, all advancing. So now you have LPC, the number one seed, taking on Jagerbomb, the number five seed. Jagerbomb, I put in my notes here as a sleeper. Jagerbomb has enough talent to win it all. They're deep and have a ton of experience. I could definitely see that game going either way. Top two offenses is Div C. Jagerbomb actually has the number one offense.
yeah,
LPC with the number
379,
two. Yeah, so that should be
379,
good.
375, yeah.
Yeah, and then LeBron Tourage against Speed Academy. That should be a pretty good matchup as well. Neither of those teams have met with each other, played each other, pardon me, in the regular season. I'm interested to see. So, Gabby mentioned Felix, Derry, Bernard, obviously receiver of the year, taking on Ahmed Bubakar. Two guys with speed, two guys with length. I want to see
Yeah,
that matchup head to head
it's
on offense and defense as well.
gonna be a good matchup. These games are gonna be good. We're
Definitely,
looking
I'm
at a
excited.
we're looking at
I'm
a,
excited.
again for Division C. We're looking at two really good semifinals.
100%, 100%. All right, man. Let's hop over to quickly to Division B. Final two divisions for wrap it up here. Semifinals will take place this coming Monday at Stade de Soccer. It will see number one seed Mongoose taking on number six seed Shake and Bake. The battle of the number three defense and Mongoose taking on the number two defense and Shake and Bake. And then we will have the number two seed Run It Once, number one defense, and Div B taking on the number four offense and the number four seed Udaho. Either Pimps. I had a chance to score keep Division B finals game. I believe it was this past Sunday. Sorry, I've seen too many games over the last couple of days. Um, yeah, here it is
Quarterfinals.
here. Pardon? Yeah, it's the semifinals. I had a chance to do no, sorry, no, I'm wrong. Yeah, sorry. These are the semifinals. Sorry, I'm thinking of Division A, my bad. Yeah, so we already last week's episode we did all the quarterfinals already.
Yeah,
Like we said,
exactly.
yeah, that's fine. So again, the final four is set for Division B. I will have an article out for that on Saturday, breaking down my picks for the matchups for the games on Monday. Again, Mangoose, Shake a Bake, Runner Once, Idaho the Pimps. Uh, Looking quickly here in the regular season, Mangoose beat Shake and Bake 32-31 in week two, and Runner Once beat Idaho Ida Pimps 32-20 in week three. So blowout in that game. Let's see if Idaho could get some revenge, and let's see if Shake and Bake could get some revenge as well. Final couple minutes here. Let's go now to the cream of the crop of 6v6, the Division A. So we have here, looking at it, so the Braves, obviously 10-0, punch their tickets to the finals, taking on the Party Crashers. Party Crashers coming off of a huge blowout victory as Score kept that game Sunday against One Stop. We'll get to that in a second. And then we have the Infantry with your team, obviously Quaysie, taking on number 2 seed, taking on Idaho, you the Pimp. So both those games are happening Monday. You're getting Quaysie at Stade the Soccer at 8, then at 8:30 at Mary Vic. Again, it'll be the Braves and Party Crashers. Before we get to my question is going to ask you about this game and the predictions. Let's again go back to the quarters. Again, like I said, Party Crashers. Jean-Z Alexi was on fire. He helped smoke One Stop. I score kept that game. The Party Crashers defense, led by guys like Jean-Z Alexi, Vincent, Biandi, Mendel, Joseph. They took away the deep ball from One Stop. Anything that Mike Caparelli tried to throw deep, there always seemed to be one, sometimes two defenders there. Jordan Alexi, all the Alexi guys, they were batting down everything. Zach Alexi, One Stop. Janai Lewis had a great game. He had over 100 yards and a touchdown, but that was the only thing they had. The One Stop offense just got completely destroyed. Idaho U the Pims, a strong second half against the Jamesons. Jamesons are up. So I was reading in our show notes. Jamesons are up in that game on two different occasions. Looking for here what I wrote in my notes. They were up, I believe
Nine,
it was.
9
Yeah,
half
they were.
time.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they were up 9. They were up at one point 20-6. The Jamesons, and they were up 27-12 at one point. And just the second half, they simply collapsed. Idaho Utah staged their comeback, and it just again Brady O'Hannison, he got into a rhythm of his own, and just they could not be stopped offensively.
Yeah, yeah. Jameson's kind of had a meltdown too in the second half.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, oh yeah.
Jeff not completing any passes. He ended up. I think it was a fourth down, and he kind of just missed the target. I think I believe to Anthony Breezewell, he just kind of missed it, and after that, Idaho Utah Pimps just didn't look back, and they ended up coming out strong and winning this game by 1 point.
Yeah, that's it, man. Again, it was I got to scorekeep both of those games. They're on my field. They're field three, and it's just like Jeff again. It was just funny. Like he had 6 TDs in that game, right? And Brady only had 5, but it's just like they didn't like. First off, the Jameson defense had the answer for Marvin Cyber. Marvin had 308 yards, 3 TDs. Daniel Colomb had 2 TDs. He was doing his thing with the deep threat. Shout out to Jordan Panetta. He had 3 TDs as a receiver. But again, the offense just going to take away the deep ball from Brady and the Idaho boys. Um, so now it sets up a matchup, right? Talked about it. You guys taking on Idaho U the Pimps. That should be a big matchup. What are your keys to getting a victory?
Um, to keep scoring. One thing that we did last time we played them, we just kept scoring. I think we went 46 to 30, 32 or
Yeah,
34.
46-36. You guys won.
Yeah, 46. I wasn't at that game,
Yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah. Mhm.
but I talked to Rory about it. And he just it's to a point where their defense is not the best defense coming around. There are not a lot of guys that are kind of key
Mhm.
defensive players. They do have some studs, but again, as offensive team that we have, the powerhouse guys that we have, we just have to score. And on defense, we kind of have to do the same thing that Jameson did to Brady the first half. How he only allowed 18 points. I think they scored one like later on, just before halftime. So if we're able to kind of
Yeah.
close that gap and kind of have them down to maybe 12 points, and we have maybe 24, we get an
Mhm.
early stop on, then we're not going to look back. Um, so yeah, so I just think we have to show Brady different calls and kind of make him try
Yeah.
to mess up his reads a bit, and then also make sure we're scoring because I played Idaho. We played in tier 1, or tier 2, I think, or tier 2 last season.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
we
yeah. You're
played
right. You're right. You're right.
we played Idaho for infantry, and
Yeah.
we think we won. We won pretty big. And what we kind of did was that we showed Brady different stuff that maybe he wasn't used to seeing, and it worked. So we're kind of going with the same idea, showing him different calls for defense, and just making sure Marvin doesn't have a big impact. Marvin and Felix, Felix is the type of player where he didn't
Yeah.
do that much versus Jameson's, because they kind of covered over the top. But those are two players that you don't want to get hot. You also don't want Marvin. You kind of want Marvin to crash out. I realize one thing about Marvin,
Right. Right.
my teammate, and if he doesn't touch the ball, he gets frustrated. So we're gonna
Oh yeah.
try to make
Yeah.
sure
That is true. That is true.
we're
hundred
gonna
percent.
we're gonna try to make sure that he doesn't touch the ball. And the worst thing is like when he's open, he gets really frustrated. So it's gonna be kind of some looks like, oh, Marvin's open, and he's not open, and then he's gonna get mad. It takes a couple players to kind of you
Mhm.
want them to kind of get him back and get into that huddle and says, yo, bro, I'm open, and then force one to him and get interception, and then after that the team explodes. So it's gonna be a lot of mind games, a lot
Yeah.
of talk.
100%. Yeah, 100%. This I've seen Marvin play over the years, covered him. I mean, yeah, he definitely he does not let his he doesn't hide his feelings when he's not getting the ball.
Yeah, no,
Oh
exactly.
man. All right. Yeah, Matt. Shout out to Matt Bond. He had two ints when he played him last time. Kevin Wyeth, obviously, the goal had 7 touchdown passes in that game. So I'm expecting a bit better effort from actually no, it was close the first time around. Actually, it was close. So we'll see what happens. I hope it's a good game. I think it will be between obviously again you guys and Idaho U the Pimps. Um, Looking at the other matchup, so yeah, the Braves, right? Trying to keep that path to perfection alive. Sophomore Excel couldn't do it. Snelly Dylan Deacons, I believe they did. So Braves again 10-0 coming into 11-0, I guess. No, 10-0 coming into this playoff matchup against the Party Crashers. Party Crashers beat the Braves beat the Party Crashers 36-33 in week 4 in Laval, and then they met in week 9. It was a 50-20 victory for the Braves in that second meeting. James Drysdale 3 TDs and a pick six in that last meeting. So Alexi, pardon me, 4 ints. Bit of a rarity there in that last meeting. So the first game was close, 3 point victory. Second game was a 30 point victory for the Braves. So one close game, one blowout. How do you see the Party Crashers? What chance do they have, or what do they need to do, I should say, to knock off the Braves?
They're Sean Slee is going to have to make sure he takes care of the ball. Um,
Mm-hmm.
One thing, uh, yeah, he's gonna have to make sure he takes care of the ball. The game that they lost 50-20, the biggest issue was the interceptions. Right, he threw two pick sixes. He threw four picks in total. It didn't help their offense at all. He had a horrible first half. Second half, kind of did a bit better.
Yep.
And the end of the second half scoring 20, and they lost 50-20. So he has to make sure he
Yep.
takes care of the ball, doesn't throw as much interceptions, more and change interceptions to touchdowns. This though again, the first matchup they had, so when it was 33-36, he also threw two ints. That didn't help. But Emerson had a better game, 7 for 8, 111 yards, two TDs. So definitely has to get Emerson in the play calling, and also just to make sure he uses his legs a bit as well too. The first game they played, he rushed 5 times, 62 yards, one touchdown. The other game he didn't. So he's gonna have to try to use his legs going into this game because again, we know the Braves, you know how the Braves play. You know how Isaiah Allard is also too. He takes away a lot of the field. So I'm
Mm-hmm.
not sure. Maybe
Yep.
they'll have to do some double quarterbacks, make Isaiah kind of go back and forth, and also depends on their roster as well too. One thing with the Party Crashers, the biggest thing sometimes is that either they have a roster or they don't have a roster. I think it's like one of their kryptonites where their roster is not consistent.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's
also,
it.
too, like the roster we're looking at it, I think there's like what 3, 6, 9, 12, and there's like 20 players on this stat sheet right here. So they have a lot of players that they
Yep.
do miss. So we're gonna see what type of roster that's gonna
Mm-hmm.
show up. on Monday, right? If they don't have a consistent roster, it's going to be a point where you have to kind of come to your A game when you're playing the Braves. You're going to have a solid 10 guys
Hmm.
going into this game and a little
Hmm.
bit of chemistry because it's to a point where if you have 10 studs but there's no chemistry between you guys are most likely going to lose. So that's also going to be a huge factor in this game. But for Party Crashers to try to get a win out of this game, it's going to be literally on John Slee. It's going to be how he plays quarterback because if he has a bad day, the whole team's going to have a bad day.
Yeah,
And for the
absolutely, 100%.
Braves are just gonna have to be the Braves. John Mayer's gonna keep doing the same thing that he does.
Yeah,
Same
yeah.
script. If he
Mhm.
doesn't screw up again, he has a lot of playmakers. He has ballers across the field. They play the game they're usually playing. They should end up getting the W. But if Party Crashers could kind of counter a lot of their play calls and stuff too, because one thing I realized like when it comes to teams like Party Crashers and Braves, like concepts and stuff are the same thing, right? You're doing
Yeah,
the same amount of
true.
plays. It's like, okay, you're doing this, we're doing that. You just kind of see who's countering each other, right? But you're
Mhm.
gonna see John Mayer is probably gonna end up having less mistakes than Jean Slee, so that's gonna be one of the big factors um, for this game.
Yeah, definitely. Execution and cutting down on mistakes. That's how you beat anybody, but especially how you beat the Braves, right? And again, no one's done it so far. So I mean,
Yeah,
I don't want to. You can't play perfect ball; it's impossible. But you have to come pretty close to walking that line of perfection if you want to have any chance to knock off the best team here in FPF.
yeah.
All right, let's get to the juice quickly. A couple of things. So the All Stars have been announced. That Jeff Rosenblatt put them up. The rest I know you had something to do with that as well. Ben McMahon. Shout out to everyone that made All Star. The All Star tournament. Pardon me. The All Star tournament. Sorry, will be taking place Thursday, August 28th, between 7 to 11 p.m. That'll be at Mary Vic. So again, congrats to everyone that was named All Star. Again, Thursday, August 28th will be the All Star game, festivities and all that. So even if you're All Star not, come out, go check it out. It's going to be a lot of fun. We see it right there on the website, all the information in that. It's always an annual event there, and every season that we all look forward to. So again, tournament once again, Mary Vic Complex, August 28th between 7 and 11 p.m. The jerseys and All Star awards will be given up between 7 to 7:15, and the All Star draft will be between 7:15 and 7:30, and then the mini tournament games between 7:30 and 10:30 p.m. And again, everything will wrap up, like I said, by 11. So congrats again to everybody, female and male, that have made All Stars. I want to give a special shout out to Sanders, our mom. He hit me up yesterday and he was like, "What's the record for making semifinals games?" And I was like, "I don't know." And he's like, "I'm in 5 of them, so there has to be like an FPF record." So I'm like, "All right, cool. I will give you a shout out on the podcast because I mean, rightfully so. So he's in obviously Division A with Idaho U the Pimps, Division B run at ones, 5v5 no regard, co-ed one Lego my flag, and co-ed two Purple Blush. So shout out to Sanders and all his teammates who helped him get and as well him getting himself into 5 different semifinal matchups. Hopefully he could go for 5 for 5 and win another 5 championships to add on to his resume.
I think there's a
Final
record
thing, I
for
guess. Sorry.
I think there's a record for championships. I
I
think
know
like
there's a record for championships in a day.
yeah.
I
Well,
know
like
Julien Payma had won 3. I know that was a record for a while.
I think Mike has three too. I think they're
For
tied. I
semis,
think James Drysdale has
yeah,
like
yeah, you're right.
three.
You're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. All right. Well, I
But
mean, listen, it Sanders could go 5 for 5 and then win 5 championships. He'll have the new record for championships in over a
Sanders.
championship weekend. Yeah. Also, so with finals, talking about all that, that'll take place August 23rd and August 24th. That's a Saturday and Sunday, obviously, in Broussard. Thankfully, not at Mary Vic. It's too hot in there. Our main man Ali Reza and his team, obviously Omar, who's been one of our producers on the podcast as well, with the company Mirror Productions. They'll be putting together all the stuff for finals weekend. So all the highlights, the instant replay, the road show, everything, the interviews and all that post game that we'll have even on this podcast. And again, Ali Reza is running the show. He's the main man. So thank you for everything that you do, Ali. And again, we're looking forward to finals weekend. Go check him out if you want to say what's up. Or even say thank you, or see maybe if he can make you a highlight tape or something. Go check out Ali Reza because again, everything that we do during finals weekend, Ali Reza is the man. Him and his team doing everything.
I just want
Uh,
to
and congrats to all the teams. So I guess that's my so go.
yeah. Well, also yeah, All Stars teams are
What were you
made to the
saying?
semifinals. No, I was going with what you were saying, but also I want to
Yep.
say I want to give a shout out to Team Canada women's. They actually start their tournament debut tonight, so this podcast probably come out on Friday. So, but the tournament when it start, they actually start tonight versus Team USA. I believe they play at
Yep.
9
Mhm.
p.m. tonight. So I just want to give a good luck. Good luck to them. We have a lot of girls representing FPF. A lot of girls that played FPF, as we talked about before, Sub Zero, Cayenne. So they're gonna try to win gold over there at the
Yep.
World Games. You can watch it on live.worldgames. Live.theworldgames.org, and it's for free. So if you want to watch some good football, just regarding flag, it's where you're gonna catch it.
Yeah, exactly. So shout out to all the ladies taking part there, and so they're in China, right? I believe it's in Chengdu, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah.
Chengdu. Yeah, yes, yeah, exactly. So yeah, 2025 Road Games. So shout out to all the ladies from FPF and anyone. If you're part of the Road Games, shout out to you, no matter where you're from. That's super awesome. And it's a special thank you once again to Ashley Longin, Longin, pardon me, who came out to the podcast earlier today. Rookie, phenomenal rookie, with double dip and with ice cold. So congrats to her and her team once again. I'm punching their tickets to the finals against Matrix. Thank you guys for watching. I think that wraps it up. A little bit over 2 hours. We try to get it under 2 hours, but it is what it is. It's a playoffs, right? Yeah. Oh yeah. Sorry. My bad. Questions. My apologies. Thank you, Ali Reza, in our ear. Okay, so let's get to the questions. We asked a couple questions on Instagram and on Facebook as well. So I'm just going to bring it up on my phone here. So the first question I asked is, at least in the Facebook responses, is which player would you like to see get their first championship? The majority of the responses I got, at least on Facebook, are but either Sam Anastopoulos, there was Jeremy Steinberg. There was also a nice one from Alex Bacalani. He says, I played 10 years in the league. I haven't got a ring yet. So that's pretty cool. I know there's some other guys who have rings, like Jeff Rosenblatt, now trying to get one as a quarterback, and some other players as well who have rings. But again, this question was just specifically for players who have not got a championship ring, male or female. There's a couple other names you can definitely add to that list. Ali, what are the results from the Facebook poll? Yep. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Okay. Okay.
Jeff as a quarterback though. Jeff
As a
has
quarterback, he doesn't have one. Yeah. Okay. The people can hear you, right, Ali Reza? I hope yes. Ah man. Okay. All right. So okay. So
so it sounds
okay.
like
So
Brent's just talking to himself.
sounds like I'm talking to myself, which I technically am right now. Okay. So some of the names that Ali Reza is saying in my ear. So Thomas Couture, Nomi Forte, and Hurtubise, Matt. What's his last name? Matt. What? The first name you said? Matthew Antonino. So yeah. Antonio. Okay, so he plays for the Gamblers. I know he plays for the Gamblers. Nick Schaefer, you said was on that list. Who else? So Ashley, I guess. Yeah. Yep. Yep. I said that. Yeah. So Couture, J Rose. Oh, okay. So the whole Jamaican bobsled team. Okay. Okay. All right. That's fair. That's fair. Okay. All right. Okay, that's cool. So hopefully some of those players will get some championship rings. I'm trying. Yeah. My next question, I believe, was. I'm trying to find it here. It's not in the
What
Facebook
is the worst way
responses.
to lose a playoff game?
Yeah. So what is the worst way to lose a game? Yeah. What's the worst way to lose a playoff game? Was
Well, Brent, I'll let you say the results for the Facebook, and I'll give you the Instagram. Oh, there's no Facebook. Okay. So for an Instagram, we had
sure.
um 42%
There's no.
people.
Sorry, I didn't put it on Facebook. So this one's
Uh,
just Instagram.
I got you. So 42% said Hail Mary, 17% said a 20-yard touch, yard 20-yard plus touchdown run. 20% said
20-yard plus
interception.
touchdown run.
Yeah, and 22%
Mhm.
said blowout. 20% interception and 22% blowout. You hear me?
Okay, no, that makes sense. That makes sense. What personally would you say would be the best, the worst way, I should say, to lose a playoff game?
100% Hail Mary. So I think what the voters said. I think Hail Mary is definitely
Yeah, yeah,
the worst way to
yeah.
lose.
I think so. Yeah,
It's like the worst feeling. You see the ball in the air, you literally like, oh, the game's over, and they end up scoring, and that's the way you lose. So probably one of the worst ways to lose. So I
yeah.
agree with
That's fair. That's fair.
the community on this one.
Yeah, I voted Hail Mary as well. Although those long touchdown runs really annoy me, but it is what it is. Um, Also, so just a quick reminder. So I know by the time this episode comes out, there'll still be a chance. If you haven't yet, make sure you register your team for the fall season. Fall season is just around the corner. Don't know when it starts, but it's going to be starting relatively soon. Obviously, I think sometime in September. So only a couple days left. So make sure if you haven't already, go out and register your team or register yourself as an individual. So you can hop on a team, go on obviously flyplusfootball.com or hit up the Facebook group if you're an individual player looking to join a squad, 5v5 or 6v6, male or female, it doesn't matter, co-ed. Go onto the Facebook group and then say, hey, I'm looking for a team. Like I said, go onto the website and register yourself as an individual, or obviously if you have a team, put your whole team in because time is running out. Very few spots left. So if you want to get in, enjoy the fun, enjoy the action, make sure you hop on to flyplusfootball.com.
We actually start
All right.
officially.
I think that wraps it up for this week.
Right, sorry, Brent.
Go.
I think we have a delay, but the season starts September 2nd.
Yeah. There you go. That's soon. Okay. Well, September 2nd. There you go. Right after Labor Day. Perfect. You're back from vacation. You hop right into Fly Plus football. No breaks. Awesome. All right. So that I think officially does it for this week. Yeah, there is a bit of a delay. Technology. It's awesome. All right. So for our producer Ali Reza and my co-host Quaysie Guatemala, they dropped my pen on the floor. The dog is trying to get at it. I am Brent Bodkin saying thank you for tuning in. We will see you next week. Thank you again. Make sure to like and subscribe on the YouTube channel. Want to get the more likes and more subscriptions. They're rising every week. Want to get even more and more. We're greedy like that. Have a good one. Enjoy the dog days of summer. I'm loving it. People are still complaining about the heat. Again, 3 months from now, you wish it was this. You wish it was 25 outside, 26, but whatever. Have a good one.